Coming up on this episode of The Brain Drain Show.
Standard in skateboarding 20 years ago, right? You hated everyone. So I was like, but now you realise you were just a dick. First sponsor was Gullwing Trucks, and I have literally no idea how I got sponsored by them. Steve Douglas was putting together like a UK flow team. Douglas was like, right, got your ticket, you're going to Tampa to go to Tampa Ram. And then eventually got to Tampa like 3 days later, and then Montesi was like, I've been hanging around the airport for 2 days waiting for you. Get out the van, he has Keenan Milton, Rick Howard, all the chocolate team. And I was just like, I'm not fucking stepping on that skateboard. Like, I'd have like boxes and boxes of stuff that I'd been given. Fuck it, I'm just gonna send it back to New Deal in the UK. First thing Ray from New Deal said was like, what the fuck's your game? You've cost us loads of money in fucking duties and taxes. I remember Johnny looking over with Reese and they were talking and they were like, hey, Element or whatever. And I remember just thinking like, fucking Douglas will kill us. And then I spoke to Gunnar and he was like, well, if you want to write for Reaction, then all good. So anyway, they got all pissed off and they were like, we want to go back to London. And me and Kingan were like, okay. And we drove into the train station. I was like, go on, fuck off, get the train back to London. Stacks of board boxes. And I was like, what do you want to do with them boards? They're like, oh, whatever, just fucking keep it. I was like, man, see you later. And then fucked off. There's a guy on a fucking horse with a sword coming towards his full belt. And then I just ducked in at the last minute. It was fucking like mental, like the adrenaline. But it was great fun. And me and Baines had a mint laugh. It was really good.
Good evening and welcome to another great episode of The Brain Drain Show with me, Forde Brookfield. Joined to my left is my one and only trusty co-host, Toby Batchelor. Toby, tell the listeners your name.
I'm not doing that again. Do it properly. Start again.
I'm here with Toby Batchelor. Toby, do you want to introduce the special guest of this episode, please?
That was a long waffle. Neil Urwin is here.
Round of applause into the audience, please.
Finally, we got him.
Finally. I know it was a bit of back and forth. Like I'd hit you up, send some dates, you couldn't do them. You'd hit me up, and then me and Toby would be away, and it probably was like that for a year.
Probably,
yeah, maybe a bit longer. Yeah.
Close to a year, and then because I hadn't met you, and then we were at Neil's book launch.
Yeah. Oh, is that where did you meet Neil? Then?
Yeah, and I was like, and I was like walking, and
was he being a pest?
He was being a pest.
We were like walking, we clocked eyes, and you just went, are we doing this then? And I was like, what? And you were like,
no, what I said to him, we're not doing this anymore because you keep getting big pros on. I was like, so it's all good. And he's like, no, it's not like that. And I was like, yeah, it is, fuck off.
Yeah, it is, fuck off.
But we got
that at Neil's book launch, who were some of the people there that you'd not seen for the longest, would you say? Because it was like Toby was meant to be there, I had a load of family stuff going on, but it was like wall to wall full of people.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That I'd not seen for years or not even
Baines, he was there. Vaughan. Fucking loads of people. I can't even remember them all.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I remember seeing the photos and I was like, holy shit, that is pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Like the last
after like years. A lot of people I hadn't seen for like 20 years. And it was really nice actually. Just be like, hey, how are we doing?
You were sick of them 20 years ago and that's worn off. And
yeah, exactly. Standard in skateboarding 20 years ago, right? You hated everyone. So I was like, but now you realise you were just a dick.
And then we like Reynolds and Westgate and those guys just thrown into the
mix. I kept
just
seeing people like walking around and I was like, they must be pro skate. Obviously I recognise Reynolds, but I was like, the other people must be pro skaters. And then people were like, that's such and such. And I was like, who are they? Yeah. And then they were like, they're amazing. Check them out. And I was like, actually, yeah.
I didn't see. I don't remember seeing Wig there, but then I saw a photo, and I've always wanted to meet Wig. And then TLB was there.
Yeah, TLB was there.
He was like, I like your podcast. I was like, oh, nice to meet you. What's your name? He was like, Tim, and I was like, tell me your full name. And he was like, Leighton-Boyce. And I was like, shouted in the street to everyone. I was like, TL fucking B. He's right here, and he was just like, really like. He's tiny, isn't he? He's so small.
Where did we get to with getting him on? We spoke to him, didn't we?
He was very iffy with it, but
that'd be a good one.
I kind of put the pressure on him
and scared him away.
When I was there, I was like flexing on him. I was like, because people just want to hear what he's got to say, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have some stories, I'm sure.
Yeah,
there was loads of people though. You know when you recognise people and you're like,
who the fuck's that? But I
know you, and I know your face, but I physically. And then people have obviously aged 20 odd years, but some people haven't as well. I'm like, how the fuck? It's like the Peter Pan industry where people don't fucking age because they keep skateboarding, right?
Yeah, just looking the same.
Yeah, mental.
But like who's the most youthful looking old?
Vaughan looked exactly the same.
You're right, actually. Yeah, Vaughan.
Who else?
That Cornish area.
I think
Baines looks the same.
I think Baines looks the same.
Yeah, like loads of people like, and it's like, actually, like, really by that age, you should be like, you know, in the normal world, you should kind of be fat. And
yeah, you do see a lot of people similar age,
you know,
and like, they look fucked. Like,
yeah, like people you went to school with
round.
and shit. You're like, fucking hell,
tough paper round.
Yeah.
And it's not even that. I think it's just like sitting there doing jack shit. And when, you know, when you skateboard and shit, I think it kind of, regardless if you do it or not anymore, you still do stuff, right? You still remain active to some degree, and it makes a difference.
Use
well, it obviously for that group of people, unless it was like some fucking weird vortex that night, I don't know.
Maybe it was some kind of serum that Dan McGee was injecting all the blue.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he looks exactly the same as well. A little bit of grey hair, but exactly the same too. I don't know. And then Ray, who used to run New Deal, turned up, and everyone's like, Matt Anderson was like, oh, Ray's coming. And I was like, no, he fucking isn't. That's not happening. Like, I haven't seen Ray in 20 odd years as well. And here he was. I was like, what the fuck?
Did he talk to you about bringing Reaction back?
No, he didn't. He didn't talk about anything like that. He told us he's moving up north, actually. He's moving up around my way. But
to start Reaction with you?
Yeah, he's going to start Reaction again, and we're going to change it to something else.
I'd like to get him on as well.
He'll have some stories too.
If you've got any...
There was always...
Any way to contact him, that'd be good.
There was always, like, New Deal seemed like the best place to be. Like, the riders and everyone getting looked after and all the rooms.
Yeah, they looked after people, and, you know, it was like... It was good fun. It was like a family. It was kind of, you know, like...
It's mental how big it got, wasn't it?
Oh, crazy. Like, when it got... I mean, HSC back in the day, like, they had, like... It was mental. It was like, fucking... You know, desks and desks of people answering the phone, like 24 hours and shit, that catalogue and stuff. It's like, absolutely...
That's kind of what this floor here, this was the mail order... hotline.
The mail order floor.
So this was desks all along there as well. People doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's we can go heavy on New Deal. So let's start it where we always start. Where are you from, and when did you get into skateboarding?
I'm from South Shields, which is in between Newcastle and Sunderland. I think I got into skating when I was about 12, maybe, around Back to the Future sort of time. Same shit. Everyone does the same shit, right?
Like,
it's the most common thing on the poddy of a certain age.
So Michael J. Fox, like, just cool as fuck with his Nikes and that. Like, one of the best films, like. And I was like, I've got to have a go at that. My brother was... So I think one of my brothers had a, you know, like one of them plastic skateboards. Like,
polyprop things.
Yeah, like... And, like, I would get it on a Sunday, and like we'd have like Sunday dinner. My mum would put a bit of wine out or whatever. I'd be like, and then I'd go. There was like an allotment around my way.
Pissed up skateboard.
Yeah. Like just roll around and fuck about on it, and then it was like really smooth. So I just fucking whiz around there, and then I kind of got into it, and I was never like, I want to do this like seriously or whatever, and then just kind of went from there. It was kind of a bit weird. I think. Originally, I wanted to be a fighter pilot, and I was like, "That's what I'm going to do."
At what age did you think I want to be a fighter pilot?
Like probably around the same age, like maybe 11, 12. And then when I was
that because of Top Gun?
No, I never seen that film until about 5 years ago, and I realised why I hadn't seen it because shit.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But I wanted to do that, and then I started getting migraines. So I remember thinking, like myself, like, there's no fucking way I can do that because you need to be able to see, obviously, the fucking... So then I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I just totally got into skateboarding, and actually it ended up being a blessing, like, you know, and that's what I ended up doing, right? Just kind of... Some of my mates got into it. Like, one of them had what do you have? That Santa Cruz board with the it was like the Reaper thing with the hand.
Corey O'Brien.
That one. He had that. They all had all the power boards and Santa Cruz boards, I think it was at the time. And then I just had a shitty old board, like, and I was like, fuck. And it was all a bit like, you know, like, I'd have a board where I didn't have lock nuts on me fucking one wheel. So, like, I'd be riding along, my wheel would just fucking, you'd see it just rolling off, and then I'd end up eating shit, right? So, and then his cousin ended up breaking his arm, and his mum was like, "You're not skateboarding anymore." And what board did he have? It was another Santa Cruz board. It was can't remember now. Anyway, it was a Santa Cruz board, and my mum was like, I'll give you the money to buy it off him. So that's when I got my first proper board, and that was it. It was like, right.
And the wheels keep falling off.
I think they probably did fall off, but that was, you used to grind the side of your wheels off curbs and shit, like, so you'd get rid of that little plastic bit round it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
We used to use like ring pulls. If your wheel nuts were fucked, you get ring pulls off drinks, and
they stick it on,
for a little bit.
When I read up with you a couple of weeks ago, like I said, I was doing a bit of cross-referencing. I was like, South Shield sounds like it would be a rough shithole. Sounds like it was real rough.
So it was in between, obviously, Sunderland and Newcastle, so you had a mix of football. I mean, then it was just all football. I mean, it is now to some degree. So it was just like, not rough, like not really where I lived was rough, but it was like very like football orientated. And I think there was probably like a bit of a window like around that Powell time where you would get some of the kids that played football started skateboarding for a very short period of time. I remember going to school and there was like people skating at school and shit. And I was like, okay, cool. But that didn't last long. And then before you know it, was like, fucking skateboarders. Fucking, what's wrong with you? You don't, like baggy jeans and all that shit. Well, back then it was like, like you'd have like, what was it, like British Knights and Champion and shit. And like, like all the Powell tracky bottoms and all that kind of shit. Just like little jump ramps and shit, like all that stuff. It's fucking mint, actually, when you think about it. But yeah, it was like a little bit kind of outcast, especially in South Shields. It was like, if you didn't play football, you were just a fucking weird.
I think it was kind of like that most places, because we had a bit of that. It's so different now. Like skating back then was really like the outlaws kind of choice of activity.
Yeah. And I think it was weird because like, if you didn't, so I played football at school, like I played in goal because I was good at jumping, of course. And then, so I was.
Insert Ollie clips here.
So I played for the A and the B team at school. And I remember at school, the teacher was like, I remember saying like, I don't want to play football like 4 times a week or whatever. I was like, can I just play for the A team or like the B team? I didn't really give a shit. And they were like, no. And then I remember my mum getting dragged to school and like the headmaster was like, oh, like he doesn't want to play football. That's not cool. Like it should be an honor to play for the school. And I remember just being like, this is really weird kind of culture that it's like, if you don't play by the rules, then I'm gonna kind of, give you shit. And I was like, I kind of remember thinking I'm not really into that. Like, it's not really how I want to kind of go on. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll just not play football anymore. And I think that's when I kind of got into other stuff really, like, and that's probably where my problem with authority started as well.
What was the transition there between like, say like skating your hometown and then kind of venturing out a little bit? And did you have like a crew at the time that stuck by your side skating, or did they all kind of start to kind of like drop off as time went by?
So in South Shields, it was like me and there was maybe like 4 or 5 mates just skated. There was like a little set of stairs up at the top of the village just up from where I lived. And there was like 3 stairs. She could do like ollie down the stairs, do an airwalk, thinking you were Ray Barbie or Natis or whatever, do you know what I mean? Try airwalks, skatewalks, but I could never make it. Like, I'd do the airwalk bit, and when I got the skatewalk bit, my feet were on the floor, do you know what I mean? I was like, fuck, how'd you do that so fast? Like Paulo Diaz in Bandis or whatever it was. And he was doing it, him and Mariano down the stairs. Super and I was like, that's just fucking sick. But I couldn't never do it. I could never make my legs move that
just fast. On that note, sorry to interrupt. Did you ever get south flips? Because we were talking about this at the weekend. I'd love to learn south flips.
Yeah.
Such a good trick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good trick, yeah.
You need to learn.
Be meant to have a trick named after yourself as well, right? I guess as I progressed, I started skating with other people like, there was like Gordon and his brother from Washington and stuff. We used to go to the Oval.
Yeah.
So Oval was in Washington, and then you'd have people skating there. It'd take like an hour on the bus to get the Oval. Obviously in the Oval, it was like, you'd have like rocker skating the vert ramp. You'd have squares. And then there was a load of other people like who were around, like Harry and people like that. So
I got sent something here, like old school stories about Harry and Gordon. How do you say his last name?
Streska.
Yeah. But I don't know who they are myself.
Yeah.
But I think it was Ben that sent those. He was like asking old stories about those guys. So were they like impactful to you skating?
Yeah. I mean, Harry was a bit older. He was probably about 3 years older, to be fair, but at that point...
He seems like a lifetime older though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he seemed like he was, I was probably like 14, 15, maybe around that sort of age.
Mm-hmm.
So like all of those guys were killing it, and there was like people from like Darlington, Stockton Way, like, like Johnny Robinson and all them lot. So there's quite a big group of people that used to skate. And then in time I went and kind of skating with them. They would go skating around Newcastle or Sunderland or whatever. But I wasn't that good, I mean, I was all right at skateboarding. And then I would just skate with those guys, like, and then I kind of formed a new group of friends after that kind of, I don't know, I think Harry maybe moved away or whatever, or just kind of, there was, some of the people as well were from South Shields. It's funny because when I first started, there was a pub called the Fountain Pub, and, it was around the band this time and all that sort of shit. And I would go up and there was like a group of lads, there was probably about 8 of them, would skate this, it was like a ledge about this high. And they'd all session it, and one of the guys that lived there, his dad must have ran the pub. His name was Shmoo. He had mint style, like really good style. He'd do like backsmith, like backside ollie out and shit like that. And I was like, whoa, that's the first time I'd seen. Like ollie, back stiff, backsmith stall, and then pop out and shit. And I would remember watching it going, fucking hell, that is amazing. So I was kind of influenced maybe by that group of people as well. And then, like I said, as time went on, one of Ray from New Deal's friends, Reg, I don't know how they knew each other, but he ended up opening a skate shop in South Shield. So I was probably 15. I think I might have just finished school.
Yeah.
So my brother skated as well. My older brother skated as well. So he went to work for him. And then I made like a new kind of group. I mean, like Gordon and stuff still skated with and stuff. He was part of the group. And then there was like, like friends that you kind of grew up with, and you went out with and all that stuff, which was quite nice. Like, it was like, it wasn't just about skateboarding. It was like, you go skating all day and then you go out on a night or whatever, do whatever, right? So that was kind of, from the age of 15 till whatever, 18, 20 or whatever, and then kind of went on to do obviously different stuff, and then still hung out with those friends when I'd come back off skate tours and stuff like that, and that was the best time, when it was like skating with my mates and not, skating for like whatever, right?
To
like
get coverage,
being competitive and all that shit. I was like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, it was about having a laugh, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about, isn't it? Like, at the end of the day, right?
I think a lot of people forget that. It is just skateboarding.
Well, you see this, it's like a cycle of skating, sponsorship, they let it go, then they just enjoy skating with their mates again.
Yeah.
You'll see them down at the park at 7 o'clock doing slappies, and they're like, fuck, I should have just done this the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think everyone has to go through that.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't, they're
re-enjoy it.
Still living it.
Yeah, it must be nice to still be able to do it and enjoy it. Like, I love going out and being able to do so like once a year, I'll probably go out and be like, just to prove myself. It's probably just like an ego thing, which is really fucking bad. But like, it's normally July, and I'm like, I'm going to go out and see if I can still do it. And I'll do like, a couple of board slides, a couple of ollies and that. And then after a couple of days, I'm like, I'm good.
So I'll make a note that when I want to hit you up to film a clip, it has to be around July.
Well, last year I went, and there's like a waste ground next to where I live. And I took one of my boys, and he was rolling around, and there's like a nipple thing, which is about this, maybe this high. And I was like, I'm fucking having that. I'm ollieing it.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling up to it, no warm up, right? Not been on skateboard for a year, like just what you need, right? So I'm ollieing it, and then I didn't make it properly or something. I remember the inside my groin was hurting. I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just going to do it, which is what I would have done back in the day. Anyway, next day I woke up and I was just totally buckled myself. Ended up having to go to physio and that. And the guy's like, there's a lot of scar tissue here. I'm like, yeah, it's from fucking not skateboarding, and I think I'm still like fucking an elastic band after 20 years, you know what I mean? So
here's the scar tissue. Watch this video part. This probably explains it.
Yeah, exactly. This is what my brain thinks I can do.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Brain versus muscle memory, isn't
it?
It's like crazy.
That's quite a struggle, isn't it? As you get older, is like remembering what you could do and sort of having that kind of belief that you still can do it.
Yeah.
And you got to stretch so much now, haven't you?
And then
that's my problem. I don't.
And then trying it, not being able to do it for 2 hours and getting pissed off. Like, I used to do this trick every fucking time. 10 years ago.
I didn't mind them. I think early on, like, I got that consistency maybe from like 15 to 18 where I was like, I can land stuff consistent and it felt easy. But I think as time went on, I didn't. And it was like the mind battle of landing a trick. And it was like, right, I'm going to just keep going. Like, I'm going to keep going. Eventually, this is going to happen. And, you know, you just push and just buckle yourself until it came about, right?
So what was the name of the skate shop that opened? And did you start?
It was called Speed Freaks.
Oh, amazing. What a fucking
direct
name.
influence from the video, right?
And did you start skating for them, or where did what was one of the first sponsors that kind of came around, and how did that, let's say, career path, how did that start?
First sponsor was Gullwing Trucks, and I have literally, before I came on, I was thinking about it, and I have literally no idea how I got sponsored by them.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that shop was open. But I remember getting Gullwing Trucks, like your first box, and there was like trucks and stickers and shit. And I was like, this is amazing. Who was
the distributor for Gullwing?
I don't know. I honestly don't know how I got sponsored by them. Like, I don't even remember talking to anybody.
Was it through Rocker? Because he was on Gullwing, wasn't he?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Gullwing, but as I said, I don't remember shit. And then, because the skate shop was Reg was Ray's mate.
Yeah.
Then Ray was like, hey, we'll hook you up with some boards, I think. I was pretty young, though. I mean, I was like 15 or something, like a little fucking scrot from South Shields, you know what I mean? Like, and then I remember at some point, no, that was it. I went to London. So I was 15. I think my brother went with us, and we went to London and stayed with Ray from New Deal, because he obviously was mates with Reg. So I went to London, and then...
Was New Deal a thing at this point?
It was the Porter Cabin in Harrow.
I remember that, yeah.
So they had that Porter Cabin in Harrow, and they were like, did they have two? No, I think they might have just had one at that point. So they had the distribution side, which is Porter Cabin. Did you ever go there?
Yeah.
And then they had the shop.
Yeah.
And then, so I went there. I think they might have given us some product. And I remember TLB was there with... I don't know, I think maybe it was Simon Evans and Matt Stewart, maybe. It was just when it was sequences. So so Ray's obviously gone to TLB. Oh, put Neil in the magazine. I assume that's what he did. I don't fucking know. So TLB was like, hey, do you want to do something? And I was like I used to just fuck about with stuff. Like, I could ollie, but like I could do flip tricks. You know, it was like that whole New Deal time where it was like double fucking triple flips and all that. And I was like, I'll just do like a double nollie flip and then a double nollie flip, shove it, which were my first photos in R.A.D.
Yeah.
And it was just sequences, right? And then I think kind of shortly after that,
I think Neil described it as the kick and hope era, where you just kick your board and hope
and it's
that
just
you flip it. Yeah.
I mean, that shit though, like back in the day, it was kind of crazy when I think about being from South Shields. So there was, sorry to go off tangent completely.
No,
but
do it.
Remember the little skate park in South Shields?
The one where Cardiel went?
Yeah, so it's all those little like wedge ramps, and you talk about skate parks being now like this. So these wedge ramps were reasonably steep. You could like hit it from the side, ollie into them. There was like that thing that Cardiel ollie. You get some height out of that thing. Because at the beginning it was smooth, but after a while it got kind of sand beaten, and it was like fucking skating Harrow.
Yeah.
But like loads of people would come skating. So like when I was at school, there was a New Deal tour, and that must have been something to do with Ray from New Deal and his mate Reg. So that park was like, it was kind of a little bit like street, because it didn't really have any transition. It was all flat. So it was great training for learning how to skate street to some degree. So anyway, they had, I remember Armando Barrajas, Danny Sargent, who I didn't appreciate at that point in time. Like, I remember thinking, what's this fucking guy doing? Like slash grinds and stuff? What's wrong with him? But now when you watch that guy skate, you're like, he was fucking sick, man. Like such a good skateboarder, right? And then who else? There was someone else. And
John Montesi was on that one as well, I think.
Was he on that one?
I remember that it's in either 540 or 720. I'm sure John.
No, is he?
Yeah.
But it was so good. Like, you know, like Armando was doing, you'd put like a picnic table at the top of that cardio ollie, And Armando was doing like, you know, like nose bump 360 shove it and all that kind of shit. That was like the New Deal days. And I was like, fuck. And so New Deal was my company. I was like, I have to write for New Deal. Like that is like, I love New Deal. Obviously you had like Andy Howell, you know, Justin Gerard, all those guys. Anyway, so as time went on, you had other people come like, so you had like Salman Agar, who was fucking sick. Him and Ricky Ibaseta came, which is like a great combo. Like Ricky Ibaseta's style is like one of the best styles in skateboarding ever. And Salman, obviously what he did with switch stance was like insane. And he'd like pop stuff really high. And I think that for me, seeing them skate, I was like, shit, like that's how I want to skate. I want to, you know, try and look graceful and also be able to pop stuff as well, like Salman did, you know. So anyway, back to TLB. So I got in the magazine
a sequence.
It was like a double nollie flip and a double.
So it was like a legit sequence, not like a sequence from video, like a couple of years prior.
It might have been from video.
I was just trying to think of that sort of
how
period
would TLB have shot? Because it would have been filmed, wouldn't it?
So if it was around the sort of time he was shooting with Sion Evans, that would have been a lot of video grab sequences. So
yeah, I think so. It probably was.
Sequence. TLB around that time was doing like the strobe light sequences, you know, where you had like one still with 4 or 5 parts of the trick. But
I know what you mean, like the shadows.
Yeah, where you strobe it.
But,
yeah, it was black and white, I remember.
Yeah.
It was like a sequence in black and white, double nollie flip, and then double nollie flip, shove it or something. I remember afterwards thinking, why the fuck did I do that? Like, I should have just done like I don't know, like something on the bank. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking random as fuck, right? So that was me first.
Got you in the mag.
Yeah, exactly. I got in the mag and I was like, I'm winning. Like, there we go. Do you know what I mean? And then from there, I guess New Deal used to give us stuff. And then Douglas was putting together like a UK floor team.
Steve Douglas.
So there was me, Mark Channer, and Danny Barnett, maybe. Well, like the floor riders, and they were like, hey, like, we're going to give you product and shit, and then we're going to, like, someone will end up being on the team at some point, hopefully. And I was like, mint. And I got the package, and it was like, you know, like, all the fucking boards and all that shit.
Well, what was the package looking like? What did you get?
Do you know, the only thing I remember was I think there was an Element video in there with Billy Pepper and stuff. I don't know why I remember Billy Pepper, but it was like, I think I might have got like 3 boards or something, and then like wheels, all the shit. Like it was, and I remember going, fucking right, this is meant this, like, do you know what I mean? Like free shit.
Yeah.
So.
Especially around that time when boards would snap super easy.
Yeah, it's still quite thin as well, and like you would, and if you were skating every day, like you'd literally fuck them.
And wheels would flat
quick.
Spot instantly.
Yeah. So yeah, they hooked us up, and then I started coming to London more and more. I think when I was like 16, I'd come down all the time, and then like go skating, like, you know, like wherever. Like I would skate with like Gunner and them lot at Harrow and stuff. And then like sometimes go down to South Bank and shit like that, and you'd see all the guys skating at South Bank. I was just like fucking sick. Like, you know, like all of those guys used to rinse. It was when people used to do like nose slide, crooked grind, pop out, all that shit. Like I'm trying to think the people down South Bank. You had like people like Clive, Barrington. There was like Winston, all those guys, and they were just like fucking so fucking good. Like I'd just sit there and watch them and be like, that's fucking, South Bank was amazing. I never saw never saw Curtis though. That was the only thing I was gutted about, because
maybe
like,
you dipped out a bit at that point.
Yeah, it was maybe just after, right? You know, I remember Curtis, like all that M Zone shit and all that, and then obviously when he was on Element, right? Like, it's funny. I was listening to that your last podcast with Neil, and he was talking about the Curtis thing, that photo where he's doing the ollie down South Bank with the Ricky Ibaseta board,
and he's tweaking it on the backside, isn't he? Yeah.
And I was like, and then he was saying that Curtis was like, that's just fucking shit. And I was like, for me, I was like, that is the fucking coolest skateboard photo ever. Number one, Curtis was cool as fuck. He dressed mint, he looked spot on, and he had the best style. And of course, he was like massively capable as a skateboarder, like fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that just sums all of those elements up. It's like the best skate photo ever, like just the whole thing. And I was like,
the board graphic as well.
so that board was sick. Element was sick. Back in the day, like when they started that shit,
Yeah.
you know, he had like, you know, like, who would you have? Like Chris Hall, Pep Martinez, who else? Was there Andy Stone? All them lot. So when I went to the US, that was kind of tailing off. Remember they had the company, the clothes company, Company E. That was pretty sick as well. Yeah. So anyway, that was the deal. So I got hooked up by New Deal and then kind of skated for a few years, started getting more and more magazine coverage. I think through like maybe being in London all the time, but then I think like Horsley and stuff, like would take photos and stuff and then just kind of progress from there. And then one day Douglas was like, rang us up and he used to call quite a lot actually. And he was like, hey, like, we'll want you to be on New Deal, like properly. And I was like, sweet.
And Douglas was in the States at this
Yeah,
point,
he was in the States, that Giant in the States. So obviously they had Element, Mad Circle, another fucking sick company.
Mad Circle, yeah. I wish I was around to see Mad Circle.
It sort of came and went real quick, didn't it? But it was good.
But the team was like Scott Johnson, Moses, so fucking good. But they were like, Douglas called us up and he was like, hey, do you want to write for New Deal? And I was like, fucking too right. That's all I ever wanted. Do you know what I mean?
And what had gone on with the other two lads that were put on? She said you were put on as like a group of three.
I don't know. I think I think maybe Mark went and skated for somebody else. And then I don't know what happened to Danny Barnett.
Channa went to Bomber, Unabomber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was probably, we're talking sort of 94, 95?
Yeah,
it was probably 94 because the New Deal video that I filmed for was 96. So it was probably about 93, 94, maybe around that
Curtis
sort of time.
had definitely dipped out around that point. So I think Neil said it was around like 93 or
Sky
so.
Pager came out in end of 92, I think.
Was it really?
So, and then that's kind of when he was out of the picture. Well, not out of the picture, but
that was
dipped
great,
out. So that would be 93. So
yeah.
Which makes you realise that Curtis's impact on skating was like 88 to 92, 93. Like so short.
Really? Say a little bit later, 89 to 91, 92.
Oh, so three maybe for like 4 years. And
I saw him skate
the
once.
amount of impact.
He came to Stevenage skate park where I skated a lot, and he was ollieing out of the vert ramp into the concrete bank. And I remember thinking, that's pretty gnarly.
So fucking
And he was doing it high.
Yeah.
Properly. He was doing it properly.
Yeah.
When everyone else was struggling to push, with tiny little wheels that you could barely roll on that concrete, and he was just tearing about.
Because it was Neil again in his episode where he said that Curtis changed the kick and hope of flipping your board to actually getting a style on how to catch your board up in the air with you.
Well, there's a few people that kind of did that.
That's why it was so impactful.
Curtis was one of them, but also
Penny
sort of as he transitioned from riding for New Deal into like flip, and Shipman as well. They for me, catching the board on the way up still.
Yeah, and they're just leveling it out or whatever. I mean, obviously Penny did that massively as well, but
yeah, who were your skateboarders at that time you were looking up to for that?
Curtis, Shipman, there's probably other people as well, but like, I was always like about style. It was like just how you skateboard. I couldn't give a fuck what trick you did. Like, it didn't really make much difference. Like, those two, like the way Curtis skateboarded, like was just that whole style and the way he dressed and shit. Like I've always been into that. And the same as Shipman, like just the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? It was like that star. I'm trying to think who else around that sort of time.
It's quite an interesting concept that, it's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. And skating. Massively. I wonder if there's any other activities that is similar.
What, like how you play fucking tennis or something? Like what style
because it's so.
I
it's such
always
a
think
unique
it was like BMXing
thing.
and roller skating. It's like your body position is in the same place to do those
I guess
things.
surfing's kind of similar, but outside of board sports, I don't know. That's what I always think about skateboarding. Like it's weird. Like it's such a unique thing where like you've got different elements to it. Like you're talking about style, or even the people that get kind of sucked into it as well are always so different. But then what's really nice is they all learn to kind of get together and kind of engage with each other, and it's like genuine. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I learned from skateboarding. And I didn't skateboard for that long, really, like properly. Like maybe from 15 till I was 25, really, like, you know, and after that, I was probably not as involved.
Mm-hmm.
But like the shit it taught me, like interaction, building relationships with people. I mean, when I skated for New Deal, like Douglas would be like, oh, okay, you're going to fucking San Francisco, and he'd be like, you're going to stay with Justin Gerard and Blayback or whatever, and you just have to go and just like within the course of like fucking 10 minutes make friends with people, because otherwise you were just going to sit in the corner like.
But that's another thing that's, I think, is kind of unique to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many elements where it's,
you can go anywhere in the world, and you pretty much, unless you're a complete fucking arse, you'll be able to get on with skaters, and everyone kind of hooks each other up.
I think you can like land in a country, go skate somewhere, and not have any sleeping arrangements and meet someone, and just be like, oh, I'm here for 5 days now, but like, stay at mine.
Yeah,
you definitely don't get it with.
It's funny, isn't it? It's a peculiar. And the other one to that is that, you know, you could go to demos and be with the superstars of your sport, skateboarding, within close reach. Like if you were to do that with the superstars of football, for example, it just wouldn't happen.
You go for dinner with them after.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like,
or just go to your local park. You wouldn't go for a kick around on like a Sunday and like Ronaldo just be there, would you? Like with everybody else.
So I had to wait till I was 18. Obviously, because you couldn't travel. So I remember I went to maybe college for a couple of years, because my mum was like, you got to do something. You can't just fucking hang around the house. So I think I went to college for a bit. I don't think I really did anything, but whatever. And then when I was 18, I was like, right, Douglas was like, right, we've got your ticket. You're going to Tampa to go to Tampa Ram, and then you're going to fly to LA, obviously Costa Mesa or whatever, and come with us. And then I think
that's where New Deal was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Costa Mesa.
Or Giant was there,
yeah, Giant, yeah. And then he was like, so he booked me the flight. I don't know if it was fax or it was fucking carrier pigeon or
email
fucking
or
whatever. Probably faxed.
It was
teletext.
Teletext.
It wouldn't have been a fax because I didn't have a fax.
Fuck knows.
So I don't know. I'll try and find out.
Go into an actual branch. And
you maybe picked it up from like a...
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no fucking clue. So then he was like, you're going to Tampa. So I had to fly to Newark and then change for Tampa. And they give all these New Deal bags. So it was kind of like, you know, like a big Jansport bag.
Yeah.
But it had like a section in the bottom where you could put all these skateboards. And it had the New Deal crest on and had my name on it. It was fucking mint. I don't know what happened to that. I think I lent it to someone, didn't get it back. You know, like one of them, and then try to remember who I lent it to and never got back. So I went on the flight, and then I landed in Newark, and it was snowing like heavy snow. So I got customs, and they were like, where you going? I was like, Tampa. And they were like, okay, like, who are you staying with? I was like, this guy.
Yeah, they're on it, aren't they?
Yeah, and they were like, oh, well, that's kind of, what's his address? I don't know. What's his name? I don't know. Well, I knew his name, obviously. I was like, John Montesi. And they were like, okay, and what you doing here? I was like, oh, I'm just like on holiday. I'm just visiting. He was like, okay, there's something not adding up here. So I got taken the room and all that shit, right? And then got in the room. This guy comes up. It's the first time he had like a fucking gun and shit. And I was like, whoa, that's like mental. I'd never seen that shit before, right? And then he was like, told him the story again. And he was like, look, like, how long are you here for? And I was like 3 months. I'm going to go home. I'm going to here and then I'm going to California. So anyway, he went, okay, it's not adding up. I'm going to go and get your bag. What does your bag look like? And I was like, it's like a black bag, whatever. So he comes back with my bag and he goes, he puts it down and he goes, is there any reason why your bag has your name on it? And I was like, oh, it's just I got it put on there or some shit. And he was like, okay, no problem. And he was like, also like, can I open it up? So obviously the bottom would open. I'd fucking like, you know, like a stack of skateboards in the bottom. So you'd take them. And he was like, why has it got loads of skateboards? And I was like, because I skateboard, like, and he was like, you're not like professional. Because I think at that time it was when people had started going over. And I think they
don't like you making money over there without claiming.
Without a doubt. I mean, still the case, right?
Yeah.
So, and then he was like, this doesn't add up. And he was like, can I open your bag up? The top. And I was like, yeah, crack on. And he pulls out this wad of fucking cash. So I don't know why I did this, and I still don't know.
Because Shipman had told you
To this
always
day,
have 500.
always carry
No,
500.
It was like a couple of grand, 2-3 grand in the bag. So I was like, I need enough money for the time I'm there.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got the money from either. Like, I have no fucking clue where that money came from.
Douglas had sent it to the
By fax.
yeah.
By owl.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like that. Like, why have you got this much money? And thinking about it now, you would never check in cash, you know, and send it on the flight, right? And then he was just like, look, just be straight with us. I was like, look, I've come to skateboard, there's competitions, there's this, that, and the other. And he was like, I should really just send you home. And then he went, but I can see you, like, you seem all right, so go on, like, fuck off. And I was like, fuck for that. Then I was like, I've got to get to Tampa, because there was a snowstorm. So I went to Miami, and then eventually got to Tampa, like, fucking 3 days later. And then Montesi was like, I've been hanging around the airport for 2 days waiting for you. And I was like, thanks for that, John. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, it was like this big pro skater, and I was like some little fucking skip rat from South Shields, you know what I mean? So,
was he pissed off?
Nah, I don't think so. It was all right. It was good crack. So I stayed with him, and then I went to Tampa AM, and that was interesting. It was like, you know, like Bo Turner and people like that. Like, big alien workshop guy and that. And I was like, I think it was Cairo was in Tampa AM. There was Cairo. There was quite a few people. It was good fun.
So what year was that then? We talking?
It's probably 94, 95 maybe. But went there
Good
and
couple
then
of years.
Yeah, I think I came like 9th. I think I've still got the plaque in the house. I wasn't really bothered because I was like, don't do competitions.
Well, if you find it, we'll have it for display on the back.
All right, I'll find it. I'll send it. It's with me skateboard.
Send it through fax. Steve's really militant with like how you said that you were like landing here, transferring here, going to Tampa. He called me up the other day because I told him that I want to go to LA to visit him, and he was like, "Right, you're going to land in LA, you're going to go to Santa Barbara, then we're going to go to San Diego, then we're going to stop off between there. You're going to come to mine." Then you're going to go to San Francisco. And he sent me a full itinerary.
Did he?
And I just said to him, yeah, I'm just going to go to LA. And he was like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Go skate and see these people.
Cool.
So he just, all through fax.
Yeah.
So he's like, you got a fax machine?
Make sure he gives you the address to where you're staying. Otherwise, you might come unstuck.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I should probably sort that out because they do, like, I've been a bunch of times and it's 50-50 if they ask you or...
Yeah, I think nowadays,
not, like you just fill it out
if you say
on your phone.
Here for work, like they'll just send you home.
So you went from Tampa to
California. To California, Costa Mesa.
And how long was you? So I guess you were only in Tampa for like a couple of days.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, maybe a week or two, and then went to Costa Mesa, Giant, and kind of met those guys. And then I think there was Rob Carleon, Matt Milligan. Don't think JB was there, and then would just go out filming every day, which was what that New Deal promo video was, which was for me was a bit, you know, in hindsight when I think about it now, I was like, I should have just said to them like, can you send someone to film us here? Because like I would have loved to film a section in the UK, like a proper section, because like out there it was all kind of alien. It was very like California skating, like, you know, like ledges, and like it was amazing, such a great experience. But like for me and the way I like the skateboard, it like I would get put. So I mean, you know, hats off to Douglas. Like I'd go and stay at his house, and you know, he hooked us up massively. And you know, like who wants to have like some fucking 18-year-old kids staying at the house? You know what I mean? And like, so I would go to Giant every day. And then someone would pick us up. So it was like Chris Ortiz would pick us up quite a bit. And he would go out like different days with different people. So like one day Ortiz picks us up and he's like, yeah, we're going to UCLA. So at the time, New Deal made these boards and it was like a fucking board with like a creature on the bottom. It's like the worst graphic ever. I remember setting it up, and there was some nice boards as well as like Rennie Matheson boards, which is like all the surfboard kind of graphics and stuff, which was quite cool. But on this day, I think I'd set this board up, and we got to where we were going. It was like UCLA, and we're like rock up. And then he's like, "Come on, then get out the van." And then I walk up, and then he has Keenan Milton, Rick Howard, all the Chocolate team, and I was just like that. I'm not fucking stepping on that skateboard, like. Do you know what I mean? Because Ortiz was always like, hey, I'll go and take photos with these guys.
Yeah.
And then I'll get some of you, we'll film some shit. So I was just like, I'm not fucking touching that fucking skateboard. Like, number one, I'm not skating a board in front of these guys, which has like a fucking, you know, like some fucking weird monster on it. And number two, it's fucking Keenan Milton. I just need to watch. Do you know what I mean? Such great experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what would happen all the time. I would just go out with him. And then sometimes on the way back would like see something in the street, there'd be like a handrail or whatever, or like something like an ollie and would just film it. So there'd be quite a lot of stuff at night because that's why it was like after he'd done what he needed to do, would just film some shit, which was quite cool. And then, but like I said, in hindsight, I would have liked to have, for that video, like JB's section was sick because it was in, loads of it was in France or San Francisco. And mine was like, you know, a lot of it was like Costa Mesa, California.
Yeah. But would they have not given you more time to film over here? Or was it a case
probably.
of...
I didn't even think about it. And to be fair, but I didn't vocalize it either, right? Like, you know, I was just like, yeah, I'm lucky enough to be there and be part of the team. I'll just do whatevs. Do you know what I mean? But in hindsight, you go, hey, you know, this would have been, but it was great. It was good crack. And then,
and that was for the 90.
That was for the 96 promo.
And all that footage is from the 3 months.
Yeah,
or
all
did
of
you
it
go
was
back
from
over. Or...
No, it was just 3 months when I was there.
Yeah.
Were you getting paid at that point from them?
No, I was just getting boards. So I was probably getting like, I don't know, 10 boards a month, 6 sets of wheels.
Selling them?
Yeah, I was always selling shit.
Well, you don't need 10 boards a month, do you?
No.
So they know you're selling some. That's just
you probably need, what, 3 maybe?
Yeah.
So, but that's how it rolls. Like skateboarding, it's like, you know, you talk about that shit like, that was what everybody did. Like,
I think it's kind of known.
Yeah, but you had to do that shit. Otherwise, what were you supposed to do? Like,
get anywhere,
how were you meant to function? Like, oh, what? I'm just not going to sell anything and just
not going to eat. And...
But I mean, I got well into it and I got pretty good at it as well.
What? Selling the product?
Yeah, like fucking. I'd have people just come to my mum's house, like constant, just like knock on the door, just like, okay, what do you want? I'll sell you this, and this. Yeah, like full on skate shop. Just like crazy. And then when I was in the US, so like you'd go, I don't know, like Matt Milligan would go to Etnies or whatever, get some shoes, and they'd be like, hey, do you want some shit too? And you'd be like, oh, okay, like whatever. So they just
I'll take a 7 in this shoe, an 8 in that, a 9 in that, a 10 in that.
Yeah, like a full size run. Yeah. Can I get 1, 2, 2, 2, 1?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And then
2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 4.
That's probably more of a standard size. And then they were like, hey, take some shit. So I'd just so at the back of Giant, I'd have like boxes and boxes of stuff that had been given. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to send it back to New Deal in the UK. So I'd get the guys in the warehouse to box it up and send it back. And I remember coming back, and I think I might have flew into London or something. And I remember getting a New Deal, and I said, and the first thing Ray from New Deal was like, what the fuck's your game? I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you've cost us loads of money in fucking duties and taxes. So all this product that's sent. And then I was like, oh, okay, sorry about that. Can you ship it to my house? So like I'd go away and come back and like literally rinse it. Like I'd sell loads of stuff. Like there was a couple of shops that would buy stuff. Like Bingo would buy shit off us. Yeah. Like Bingo was always like sound as fuck. He's like, whatever, just bring it in, I'll buy it. So like I would just buy, like sell so much stuff. And like, you know, come home and I'd have like, I don't know, like fucking $8,000 or something within a couple of days. And I'm like, cool, I can go and buy like 6 Prada sport jackets and a Stoney jacket, you know what I mean? That was kind of the drill. Like, it's like,
fax me your wish list, I'll go back over and get it all shipped.
Yeah, exactly. So that was...
When you were around at Giant, was it kind of, because you know, you'd always see the 4-on-1s, but like Ronnie Krieger would go to World and just fill his car up. Were you guys doing that at Giant?
Not so much a Giant. Like you could get as much product as you wanted, but you didn't kind of need to because you were there in and around it, right? Like there was kind of no point in getting loads of stuff just to, you know, like if you snapped your board, you just go and get another one like from the warehouse. And then like I think there was days where nobody would be going, like Ortiz or somebody couldn't pick us up, so I would go and work in the warehouse with the guys in the warehouse, like packing the nuts and bolts and shit, and I'd be like, right, they need 8 nuts, 8 bolts, and then you chuck the stickers in. And then some of the packs I'd put like 6 stickers in, or like a couple of extra bolts just to fuck people up when they open it. Like, this is not right. Why have I got more? So shit like that. So it kept us busy. And then I think they built the giant ramp at the back, which was that ramp.
Yeah, that ramp did look good.
So good. So obviously Paul Schmidt. So you had Giant, which you had the offices, and then the warehouse, and then not too far away was Schmidt Sticks, and then upstairs was 411. Josh Freeberg was up there doing all that shit. But then when they got the giant ramp, you had more and more people coming into town like all the time. And that was probably, so when I first went, it was the end of that Element era of Pep Martinez, all that, like when it was fucking like cool as fuck. And then it became more of the Element that were known
Tim
today.
O'Connor and people like that.
Yeah, so I think the first riders were like, obviously like Kenny Hughes.
Jeremy Ray.
Yeah, all them lot. He left New Deal just before I got on, I think, to go to Element, and then you had Markovic and all them. So all of those guys would be in town. Like Bam would come in. So like Johnny would have all the team around quite a lot. So I would hang around with them quite a bit as well, which was cool. Like they all sound like Reese Forbes.
Yeah.
People like that as well. So
any good Bam stories?
Not really. I mean, Bam was little. Like so there was a team manager would stay at his house. And I stayed there with Bam a few times, but Bam was just little. I mean, I don't know how old Bam is, but he's probably 3-4 years younger than me. I remember thinking he was sound though. He's great, good crack. He wasn't like the Bam that you see from Jackass and all that shit, you know? So, but yeah, it was good. It was just mint, like skating the ramp with those guys. Like
that's a real good time, that kind of mid-90s going into late 90s.
Yeah.
Like skating was really good then.
Yeah. So you'd have like, obviously Kenny Hughes on a mini ramp would just fucking rinse it. So the mini ramp that had obviously standard size, and then they had the flat bank in the middle, which went to like a ledge. Yeah, it was like an old window ledge. Yeah. So you get like Kenny would do so much shit on that. Markovic would just fucking kill it as well. Like fly out that fucking thing. I remember I spent a whole day, because I wasn't that good on ramp, right? Like, but I always wanted to do I don't even know what trick it is now thinking about it. It was like a switch frontside flip, but like 360, turn it into
switch
that
frontside flip revert.
Yeah.
Like Penny used to do as well. Yeah.
So I remember trying it, and like I'd go up, and I wasn't that comfortable, right? So I'd go up, do a rock fakie, and then you get your feet in like the switch position. I'm like, how the fuck do I do this? And I just tried and tried, like it literally took us all day long. I forget who filmed it. And then I remember landing it and being like, fuck, that is like amazing, because it's so out of my comfort zone. And then in my head, I was like, that should be an opener for 411. Remember 411 was like, I had the openers. And then it ended up being in 411 in like the chaos section or whatever. And I was like, cool.
You'll have to find this now.
I made it. Switch frontside flip revert. Yeah. I was going to say switch 360.
I'll have to find what.
I guess you could call it that, couldn't you?
Kind of. You go 360.
I'll have to find what issue it was, because was it when you were out there because you filmed Wheels of Fortune for 411 issue 5, because you said the 4.
No, it was later,
no, that was like earlier than that. That was like.
But the Wheels of Fortune was earlier.
No, the Wheels of Fortune was earlier.
Was it?
Yeah, that was in Newcastle, so Mansouri, and I wasn't on New Deal properly then, so I had like mad circle boards and stuff.
Because one of the questions was, how did you come to filming that? And I think when we brought it up, you said that you thought you might have filmed it whilst you're out there with New Deal.
No,
so
it was
that
in
Wheels
Newcastle.
of Fortune was before you even got a New Deal.
Yeah, so I was on floor. And
so
then
how did that come about then?
Steve Douglas, probably.
Douglas, yeah, and then they sent Mansouri and Kate. So like people used to always come and stay at me, man.
That's right, because Kate's did a tail drop off the bridge, didn't he? At the rail.
Yeah, into the bank, which was pretty gnarly for that time. And then people over time did crazy shit,
all sorts of stuff in that. Yeah.
But they came up. So I was probably 15 then.
Mm-hmm.
So they came up for a weekend, and I remember it was either Douglas or Ray from New Deal was like, "Hey, they're gonna come up, like." Crack on for the weekend. I think we had like 2 days or whatever to film it. So it was like, right, okay. So you just like ruin yourself for the weekend, and then off the went. But that was early on. That was like, I was probably about 15 then, I think, something like that.
I remember it. The tail drop from Cates. I remember that because he lived pretty close to me. I was like, fuck, Dan Cates is in 411.
Yeah.
And then I got to know him, and then that dream was shattered.
Yeah.
I remember being gutted about that 411 because they like film it. And my mum used to have this picture at the top of her stairs. It was like me and me 3 brothers. And we all had, you know, like the fucking stormtrooper helmet haircuts.
Yeah.
The standard. I used to laugh at my brother, like when he had a BMX. I was like, you don't need to wear helmets. You got that haircut's the same shit. But they put it in 411. And I remember being absolutely fucking devastated that image was in 411.
Who filmed that then?
Manzuri.
Oh, sorry, Manzuri.
Another great skateboarder.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Manzuri's so good.
Powell as well. I forgot about that. He rode for Powell and shit. It's crazy.
Did he go from Santa Cruz to Powell or Powell to Santa Cruz? Can't remember.
Maybe Powell to Santa Cruz.
And then ATM Click.
But people could just come to my mum's house and just stay. So like they would come, and then later on you'd have like the guys from Siesta and stuff, and then Dan Joyce would come to film us.
Yeah.
Quite a lot. And he lost so we started filming for a Siesta video. That was early doors as well. So that was before New Deal as well. So a Siesta video started filming for it. And his camera and all his shit got nicked and all the footage went. In that footage, there was like... So that was right. It was when Duffs had started to say, I remember everything by the shoes I wear. So I had the first Duffs.
The cream
I think there were
kicks.
Kareems
They
were
were good.
ones. They were like...
Yeah, came in the bag, didn't they?
Mega pop with a set of Kareems. I had the white with the gum sole.
Got mine from HSC.
Yeah. So
good
fucking
shoes.
good.
Yeah.
But I think it was the Duffs, maybe Strombolis or whatever they're fucking called. I don't know. Anyway, they were like samples or whatever. I think they were a bit small for my feet, which is why my feet are fucked. But Joyce would film us for that stuff. So like South Bank, we had like switch frontside flip over the... You know how you had the bank to the bars?
Mm.
So I had switch frontside flip over the lower one, pop shove it over the big one, and then some other shit. We had quite a lot of good shit, and then
got nicked.
Yeah, all these.
I wonder if that footage was just the tapes were just thrown.
I was fucking gutted. I remember for years being like, I wish that footage would turn up.
Yeah.
I think there was the Ollie as well. I think maybe we filmed the Ollie at, the bottom of South Bank, like the big gap.
Yeah.
It was like my reaction ad. But yeah, there was all sorts of shit. So Joycey would come and stay with us, which was fucking good fun. King Ralph, they called him in those days, right? He was always on the Ralph Lauren. We'd go to like cruise in Newcastle and like, or Flannels or whatever it's called now. But we'd go in there and you get all the shop lads in there, like all that, like, people who walk in, they'll be like, have you seen the new Saint Laurent or Prada or whatever? And you'd be like, shut up, where's Ralph? Do you know what I mean? It was, and they'd look down at you, which was quite funny, really. But yeah, there was quite a few people who would come up. It was good crack.
You were in California for 3 months, and then you came back to the UK. New Deal continued while you were in the UK. How long was you on it for? And was there like any New Deal tours in the UK? Did they come back over or?
Yeah, so I came back.
Making $8,000 from just sales.
Selling shit constant.
Yeah.
Like constantly. Maybe not so much at that, but at the point where I was on Reaction, I was selling a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I came back and then I think there was a tour with me, Montesi. That's when I accidentally at Wakefield, great skate park, that hip.
And what was the story with that again? Because we just discussed it off camera before we started.
So there was that hip at Wakefield, which was amazing. It was quite steep one side and the other side was quite mellow. So I'd always like doing switch frontside flips out of it because you could get them so fucking high. It just launched you up.
The mellower part went on a bit higher than the lower part as well, didn't it? So
yeah, that's right.
So
and it went on
higher
like
and into it.
Really long, like at least, well, in my mind now, it seems like it was like 10 foot or something. It might not have been, but it was so good. So you catch shit so fucking high. I remember landing my trick. And then Montesi was skating the quarter pipes and he tried to do something on one of the quarter pipes, falling backwards and slid on his arse. And then I think I was going fakie or something, so I hadn't seen him. And then he was just there and then I hit him in the bottom of his back. So he ended up coming off the tour. So it was me, I think Matt Milligan, maybe, I don't remember, JB, and Bucky Lasek was on New Deal at that point. So we did a tour of the UK and then we went to Germany and Austria and some other European countries. But that was to promote the 95 promo. Mm-hmm. So that was, 96 promo. Mm-hmm. So that was probably 96 when that came out. And then I would go to London all the time, and then after all that sort of tours, I'd go to London all the time and skate like South Bank, like Harrow, wherever. And then I was just waiting to go back to the US because you used to have to wait a little bit, right? Like you couldn't go straight back.
I think it's like 3 months on, 3 months off, or it might even be 3 months on, 6 months out of the US too.
I vaguely remember it was 6 months. So then I went back the next year, which was probably, I don't know, 97 or something like that. And then went straight to California that time. And then was in LA a bit, and then went to San Jose. So it was like NC skate shop. So you had like Paul Sharp, Mark Johnson, Gershon. He didn't skate with us as much, but it was great there because it was like I was with people like that I could go skateboarding with, and there was sound. So Adrian, who owned part of NC, I think I'd stay at his place. So then we'd just all go skating like every day, and it was quite cool. So I was like, okay, this makes sense. Because before that, I was a bit like, I don't know about this. Like, it's not like skating with my mates or whatever. So I spent quite a lot of time there. And then towards the end, I'd go to San Francisco and stay with Justin Gerard, lived with Mike Blayback. So I'd stay with him, and there was like people that would stay there as well. It was like Bobby Pulio and Matt Willigan, great skateboarder again. So we just go out skating, just normally though. Like I don't even remember taking any photo. I remember taking one photo at some random, I think it was some random park that Billy Pepper used to skate. And I was like, that's like, he used to absolutely kill it. That guy used to fucking fly, right? And I did a flip the fakie over a hip, and it ended up being like a Golden State advert or something.
Golden State Wilco.
Yeah. So that was good fun as well. And I was like, shit, I should have done this to start with, kind of thing. Like, it would have been more like, you know, I probably would have. And San Francisco was amazing for skateboarding as well. Like, you know, it wasn't like Costa Mesa or LA where it was a bit like kind of harder to sort of street skate to some degree. Unless you're into like ledges and handrails and all that shit, which was not my thing. So, you know, the only slides I could ever really do was like a crooked grind and maybe like a 5-0, probably. And that was about it.
Billy Pepper was sick, wasn't he?
So fucking
He was
good.
quite short, wasn't he?
I always think about, like, he was probably about that big, but he couldn't be bigger than that. Do you think?
Yeah. He was really good.
But his board always looks so big. Like, you know, like when you get these little kids, you know, like that little kid that did the fucking 900.
Yeah.
And he's got his massive board. That's how I remember Billy Pepper. But he was, I mean, obviously, some of the shit he would do, like he'd kickflip. And like the way he's bored, it was like slow motion. Then he'd catch it and just fucking so good, man.
Yeah, he was really good.
I loved Giant, like New Deal, Element, Mad Circle.
Giant was
like,
killing it around that time, wasn't it? That was kind of like, what was the first band video? Not CKY. What's it called?
Landspeed CKY, yeah.
That's like Steve Douglas, you know, was telling me about the checks he was writing for BAM because it was doing so well.
Sure, yeah.
Element was really firing.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was Black Label in there, wasn't there, as well, at one point?
Yeah, I think a bit later on.
New Deal, Element.
But they were cool though, because they didn't care. Like, you could get Element boards if you want, like Mad Circle boards, like whatever. I don't think they were that bothered. Like,
and then there you were, Mad Circle boards, box of 10, ship them back to Ray and Gary.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kept doing that.
Sorted. I think I was more in Element that time. It was like, you know, there's some good Element boards, like the Markovich ones and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that sort of time period for me was probably the most fun I'd had in skating. Sort of 94 to 98. That was when I was really, really into it and enjoyed it the most. And I don't know, 4-on-1 was a real key part of that. I think it really. It's
like
hard to explain to kids
right?
now, isn't it? Like, because it was like you get that, and it was like, oh shit.
Remember they do how to?
Yeah.
I'm like, I should have watched that shit. I might have learned how to do some slides. 4-on-1 was sick.
Your ledge game, because I saw it. You front blunt the out ledge on the promo, and that you've got.
I could, but it'd take like effort and energy. Right. Like, you know, some people. So I could do a nose grind. I could do a crooked grind. I could do a nose slide.
Kick your backside nose blunt.
And then like
years later.
Yeah, but that took us like fucking 2 days or something with Bingo, like standing there filming. Poor fucking Bingo. You know what I mean? He'd have to like stand for like days
Bingo
while I
was the
landed
best
a fucking
the most patient
trick.
dude. He wouldn't have cared.
Bingo was amazing.
He would have fucking loved it, just sitting there filming you doing that.
Yeah. And it would be like getting dark and it'd be like, right, come on, we've got this.
Yeah, I'm sure I saw footage of you doing that trick both in the evening and in the day.
Yeah, I probably landed
on the same metal, like
it was like a box.
Looks like a
that
fridge
someone had built. It was something like that, and it was just at waste ground.
Yeah,
that waste ground was amazing because it was just loads of random shit, but it was like it was good fun. And then I was like, right, I'm gonna try this trick. I was like, I want to land this trick once, and bingo, will he film it? So I would never like try a trick and then master the trick and then film it. It was more like,
get it.
I would master the trick while I filmed it.
Yeah.
And the like, fucking detriment of the filmer having to fucking stand there for 3 days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it would be. Like at one point I'd go out skateboarding just to film, which was a bit shit really. Like
I think it kind of got to that point with a lot of people though, didn't it? Because as soon as videos started taking off and probably the 411 effect, people wanted to film everything.
Yeah,
so
without
you're going
doubt,
out to get footage, and that's where that kind of mentality came from.
Hang on a minute, Toby. We need to talk about this episode's show sponsor, and it is Skull Candy. If you're travelling or just trying to zone out a bit of noise, Skull Candy, you've got you covered.
The Crusher ANC2 headphones are wild. You get Crusher bass, you can literally feel active noise cancelling, and up to 60 hours of battery.
And if you want something smaller, I'd recommend checking out the Method 360 ANC, powered by Bose Sound. So the audio quality is amazing. The ANC is incredible and the bass is ridiculous. Not only that, but Skull Candy also do incredible colours and designs, much better than your typical tech company.
Use the code BrainDrain20 for 20% off your order at skullcandy.co.uk. Now back to the show.
Toby?
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
I said it, it's back to the show.
Back to the show now.
Back to the show.
So we were talking about New Deal. You'd gone out there again to San Jose. How many times did you go back and forth?
I think it was twice, 2 or 3 times. I think maybe 2.
And how long was you on New Deal for after that?
I don't know. So I came back. Actually, the last time I was there, which might have been 97, 98 maybe. I came back and I remember being like, okay, what am I going to do now? Like,
had they talked to you about turning pro or anything like that?
I think there was talk of me going back and like spending more time there, like, you know. But I remember before I came back, the last time, I was like, I think Johnny had asked us to maybe write for Element. I went skating with him, with Reese Forbes, and came back and went at the giant ramp, and they were like, hey, I remember Johnny looking over and with Reese, and they were talking, and they were like, hey, something like Element or whatever. And I was like, I remember just thinking like, fucking Douglas will kill us. So I remember being like, and then I think I came back, and it wasn't that I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to skate for like whatever or New Deal or whatever. I just think I was just like, I didn't want to live in America. Like, and I think that was the thing.
It was still, you had to be in America, wasn't it?
And I think, you know, I think the path was like probably not having a green card and just being there like illegally. Yeah. And I was just like, do you know what? Like, you go skating, like you get pulled up and they'll be like, where's your passport? And I'm like, the first time that happens, I'm going home. Like, that's not the life I want to live, you know? And then like at that point in time, obviously 18, 19, 20 or whatever, like all my mates at home that I was skating with kind of started going out to clubs and all that shit that comes with it. And I was like, shit. And like every time I go away, I'd be like, I'm missing out. Do you know what I mean? And it was like that balance of like skateboarding and kind of hanging out with your mates and doing other shit. And I was just like, is the US for me in that way? I think, to be fair, if I had been like, hey, you've got a green card, come over for 6 months and, you know, then you can go home for a bit and then keep coming back or whatever, I think I would have done that. But I don't know if that was really an option. I think the option was either, you know, kind of get to a point where I could do that. And I was just a bit like...
Did they do that with JB? Did they give him green card?
So he went out after me. I don't think so. He went out after me and he was with Matt Milligan, him and Matt Milligan. And then
where was Matt Milligan from? Florida or something?
Yeah, he's from Florida, yeah. So he was like best mates with like, I think he was really good mates with like Bill Weiss and stuff. And like he was in California quite a bit. And then I used to talk to him and JB quite a lot. So it was us three really in the end. And then I don't know what they did. I don't know what ended up happening. I remember they ended up not being on New Deal anymore. And I don't know what can't remember what happened, but something happened. And then that was kind of that, I guess. And then I had a different team kind of after that. So I just got back and I was like, what am I going to do? And then I just remember thinking, right, I mean, when you're that age, you think like the fucking world's your oyster. You're like, whatever, I can do whatever the fuck I want, which is a good way to think. And that's how, but also I was just like, so what's my next move? And then I was like, right, okay. I don't know if I want to go back and be, do it that way. So I ride for a UK company, and then obviously the natural thing to do, and I think Gunnar had started, our New Deal had started Reaction as like it was almost like a board company. It was kind of like a World Industries kind of thing, wasn't it? Like, like that whole like graphics and all that sort of shit. And then they had started that, and they had like a team together. And then I spoke to Gunnar and I was like, oh, what's the deal with that? And he was like, well, if you want to write for Reaction, then all good. And it wasn't that I didn't like Reaction. I was just like, it wasn't like my thing. Like, I mean, at that point, I was into like Girl and Chocolate, and like, I was like, I want to, but it was great team. And, like Gunnar's my boy, like looked after us forever. Do you know what I mean? Like I had so much loyalty to Ray and Gary. Like they looked after us since I was like 15. Do you know what I mean? Like I would go to London and like not pay for a fucking thing, like not a thing, right? And get as much shit as I wanted, as much boards, like whatever. Like they hooked me up massively. I remember when I was talking to Neil for an interview for the book thing, and I was like, my dad was like a mechanic. And I remember one day he was like, who's this Ray guy from New Deal? He was like, why do they keep sending you free stuff and that? Like, couldn't comprehend it because where he came from.
It's kind of alien, isn't it? Unless you know how it works.
He was like, I go to work and I get paid. Like, what do you do? Are you like, and I was like, I just skateboard. And he's like, but how does that work? Like, and I was like, I can't explain it. It's like the other week I picked him up and we were driving back and there's like kids on the roundabout, film people with cars and that, and I was trying to explain to him, I mean he's 82 now, trying to explain to him what they do, and he was like, so they're just fucking wankers, they just put stuff on the internet. And I was like, no they're not. So anyway, that was the deal. So I spoke to Gunnar on that, and then I had a few other conversations as well with like the guys from, I think it was like, what was his name, Alvin, was it Alvin?
Alvin.
Yeah, about Blueprint and stuff. And then like Blueprint was sick, like I was, and then I was like, I don't know what to do. And in the end, I went with loyalty because I was like, which isn't a bad thing. Like, like they were the people that had looked after us forever. And like I said, Gunnar like hooked us up, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And then I was like, well, I'll do it to some degree to my terms, where I have kind of work on my own graphics and all that sort of shit. So then I told Douglas that I was quitting New Deal, and then Reaction made me first pro board, which was, see, at that point in time. So again, like I was always in the pub with my mates or going out, and would like, one of my mates, Rob, would like play the fruit machines and shit, and he'd be like, feed the pig. You'd stick your pound coins in. And then I'd play that, and the bandit that you would play was Barcrest. So that was the little character. So that was my first board, was the Barcrest board. And then we did a limited edition of a gold version, which was 50. I've still got one of them. And then, so they were like, I think they were like, oh, we'll pay you royalty.
Do you know how many boards were being sold?
Well, this is the thing. So I met Gunnar before that book launch. Yeah. And I was like, he was like, you used to sell a lot of fucking skateboards, And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, they would be stacked. And he was like, would sell a lot of your boards. And I was a bit like, oh, okay. But I got that. And then I was like, I think at that point, I was just like, oh, I don't know what I fucking want to do. And I've always been into trainers. So there's a shop in Newcastle called Aspecto. I think they had one in Leeds and Manchester as well. No, it's gone now. It was sick. They were like the first stockers to like Eva Sue and stuff like that. It was a cool store. So I worked in there for maybe a year and a half, 2 years. Because I was just a bit like, I want to just like skateboarding's mint, but when you're not on tour and you're not traveling and you sat at home and all your mates are at work, you're like, well, what am I going to do? You just end up being like fucking depressed, really. You're just like, okay, like I wasn't going to go skateboarding by myself, was I? So then I was like, what do I do? And I was like, do you know what, fucking, I'm just going to go get a job for a bit. So then I did that. I worked there for a while, which was cool. And then I still had a pro board at the same time. So I had the Fruit Machine board, and then we did a Coin Boy board, which was the same. It was the Fruit Barcrest thing. And I think after I'd done that, Ray from New Deal was like, hey, what's going on with Neil? Like, what's he doing? Because I wasn't really skateboarding. Like, it wasn't like, I didn't want it. Like, I went through phases of skateboarding. Like, you know, there's like the New Deal section. There was like when I was 15 to 17 with me mates, which was fucking amazing. I was at it every day. Then there was the New Deal bit where I was like, you know, filming all the time and like I was into it. And then, but I would have like sections of where I just wouldn't skateboard really. And that was probably one of them. And when I worked there, I didn't skateboard. And I think Ray was like, well, what's going on? I don't know remember exactly how it happened. But then they were like, what's the deal? And then there was like the Barker brothers who filmed the reaction video. They used to film the HSC videos and shit as well.
On the Canon XM1s with the really tinny
that's right,
audio.
yeah.
I remember that because I've recently rewatched, obviously getting prepped for this, I rewatched the creation video.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was like, that's a Canon XM1. You can hear
you could see it straight away. Yeah.
It's like real crunchy audio.
We're proper camera nerds, so you can pretty much get any footage and know what it's filmed on.
And you get like the little fisheye shit and that, where it's like someone stuck in a jam jar.
Yeah.
So that was the deal. And then I think, I don't know if it was Gunnar or something, was like, hey, Ray's sending Jake up to see if he can still skateboard. And I remember thinking, okay, let's fucking see if I can still skateboard, shall we? And I hadn't skateboarded forever.
Yeah.
And I was like,
how long? When you say forever, how long are we talking?
Like months and months and months.
You
not that I didn't. I just wasn't like, I was into like going out, clothes, like you know, like I said before, I'd be like fucking, you know, like all over the Stone Island, Prada Sport. Like I was always into that kind of shit, like as well. So like, you know, you wouldn't necessarily like always dress like a skateboarder kind of thing. I remember back in the day, like people used to be like, "Oh, he's a fucking Kev," and I was like, "What's a Kev? What?"
Because I wear like. Things that Gunnar said. He said, ask him about people's reactions to him not dressing the skateboard.
Yeah. So I'd wear like, I don't know, like, you know, like almost like a Stone Island zip up, like CP Company. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
You know? So you get the CP Company jackets with the gas masks and all. It was like cool as fuck. Massimo Osti design, all this. It was so fucking cool. So I'd just rock that, you know what I mean? And then like everyone would be like, he's a fucking Kevin. I'm like, number one, I'm not into football. Number two, I don't drink. And like, I'm not out fighting every weekend. Like it's just, do you know what I mean? Now fucking everybody wears that kind of shit, right? And that's what I think's good nowadays about skateboarding as well, is like it's evolved as well, where like anything goes, do you know what I mean? Which is quite cool as well. But back in those days it wasn't. And then so Ray sent up Jake, and then I was like, okay, I'll show you. And then I think you put it in the footage for the thing. There was like a nollie down a set of steps and then a kickflip down the next set of steps.
Yeah, that was some of the stuff. Long lens, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was some of the stuff that I filmed that weekend. I remember thinking, how the fuck am I going to do this? But it was like sheer determination in my head. I was like, don't fucking try and test this. Like, so and then
some of that footage in the creation video was from being sent up to see if you can still skate.
Some of it, and then Bingo would film us quite a lot as well, so I'd film with Bingo a lot as well.
Because all that footage I got was just uploaded to YouTube as like Neil Urwin Raw from 98 to 2002 or something. Okay. I think so. Maybe it was a mixture of footage.
Yeah,
I think you do the switch tray over the road gap.
That was the creation video, so that was filmed down south.
How long was you filming that video for?
I don't remember. It doesn't seem like it was that long. Like I just want to get it done and then go through me. So when I was at skating, they came up, and then I think I got the point where it was like, I think Ray was like, what are you doing? Like, are you a pro skater or not?
But if they were selling a lot of your boards,
don't matter.
I think that was still a time where it mattered that you had to still be visibly.
Yeah, I mean, they would stick my name on fucking everything, right? Like, you know, like, it was like, right, okay, we got this, brand, like, stick Neil on it, like, you know, which was cool, like, whatever, as long as it wasn't dog shit brand, right?
And what year are we talking about? She had the R.A.D cover, which was the last issue. I think that was 97.
That was before I was probably even on New Deal properly. That was earlier, I would imagine, because it was Mad Circle Board.
Was it the last R.A.D issue?
Yeah, I want to say
it's all mixed up.
And then obviously the Sidewalk cover as well.
Well, when did Sidewalk come out? That was at the British Champs, with the Sidewalk surfer stickers started appearing. That was 94.
Yeah.
So was it?
So I think when I had
timing well wrong on
pro board, it was probably 98, 99.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, Ray was like, what you doing? Are you pro skater or not? And I was like, okay, cool. Like, and then I think they started paying us. And then it was like the whole DC stuff and all that sort of stuff. And then there was the Lion King. So I go buy boards as well and shoes. Rudy Johnson DCs. Those are fucking sick as well. So Rudy Johnson's, and then Lion King board, I got into it. Like, I got right back into skateboarding, and it felt like it started to feel easier again. Like, it was fun again as well. But like, it was always a bit weird for me. Like, I always envied like the Blueprint guys and that, because it seemed like they had a crew and they go skating. But I never felt like that. Like, my mates had stopped skating really to some degree, and I never really had that group of people that I could go. And I think if I had had that, I probably would have done it for longer and probably done more shit as well. But it was like, I always felt like it was just a solo thing to some degree, and it was just a bit like, you know, like I go filming, you know, like for the reaction video, like down south, and it was like, right, we're gonna go to like this school, and it was just me skating really, like, and it was like, oh, let's just get this done. And that's how it kind of started to feel, like that momentum of
more
just
of a
like,
job than
and I was like, this is just a bit shit, you know what I mean? And then I would just continuously just, you know, sell shit as well and just make money. I mean, you know, I made some decent money out of skateboarding. It was good, and it was good fun as well. Like, I used to stay with Gunnar for like months and months on fucking end. Like, I remember I used to turn up, so I'd fly to London, and I'd get off flight, and then I'd go meet Gunnar or whatever, and he'd be like, where's your bags? And I was like, oh, I haven't brought anything. You guys have got a warehouse full of product. Why would I need to? Do you know what I mean? Like, because you could get like, I don't know, like dub, drawers, whatever, boxers, socks, the lot. And I was like, I don't need shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'd literally leave the house in the clothes I was wearing and just go to London, and I'd be like, right, give us a setup, like, and all that sort of shit. It was good fun. But then they started doing like, obviously Fenshirts started, which was pretty big. I mean, Fenshirts was big. Like, the way they did that brand was like amazing. It's such a shame that it ended up where it ended, because actually, at one point, it was like, it was pretty big. And then we'd go on tours, like DC tours and Fenshirts tours. New Deal would hire like fucking, you know, like massive like tour buses with like seating area at the front, the back, and then you'd get all the beds and stuff. And it was like, that was good fun. And you'd kind of travel around for a few weeks doing all the demos, which were like fucking mental, right? Like, you know.
When people would actually show up for demos.
Yeah, it was like fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids, and you would be like some of the DC ones were good fun, like, with like, you know, like Shia and Colin. Colin, great fucking skateboarder as well. You know, like those days were good fun as well. Like, I got back into it. That was around about when I had the Lion King board.
You see that when I put up your post on Instagram, Colin commented on it.
Yeah, I was like, it's weird. Right?
And then I put like, we're a big fan, please come on the podcast. He put, thank you. Yeah. And I was like, fuck. I can't comment again and be like, no, come on the podcast.
You should get Colin on. Fucking great skateboarder.
Yeah.
It's weird though. It's like the same, like your perception of yourself. Like, he put that post on, and I was like, is he talking to me?
Yeah, he said,
what did he
say?
He
said like, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He wouldn't have been towards us.
No.
Unless he was talking about you, he might have been talking about you.
Yeah,
so I was like,
he wouldn't have been talking about us.
Is he talking to me? And I was like, you know, that perception you have of yourself. I was like, I never thought I was that good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I never thought I inspired anybody, which is weird, right? And also the other weird thing now. So back in the day when I skateboarded, I never thought I had style. So I was like, oh, I look funny, like I look awkward on a skateboard. But with the space of time, I'm not saying I had an amazing style, don't get us wrong, like, but watching that footage now, because I haven't watched myself for so long, I was like, actually, I didn't look that bad. I wasn't as bad as I thought I looked. Do you know what I mean? It's just weird how you like build a picture in your own head of yourself, like your own self-perception, right? So
that board, the Lion King board, you said?
Yeah, Gunnar said it was the biggest selling reaction board.
Yeah, he said they sold a lot, and by that point they didn't pay his royalties, did they? They paid his
so they switched you over
salary. Yeah, that's probably why they did that. Maybe.
So if Gunnar's listening, he probably owes you about £17.50 of royalties from all those board
I'd love
sales.
to know how many were sold, though.
I don't know. You'll have to
It was an
ask
interesting time where the internet hadn't kicked in.
Well, he's definitely going to be listening to this, I imagine. So it's a shout out to try and get Gunnar on as well.
Get him on and tell us how many boards.
So
yeah, he'll have some stories too.
Yeah.
I used to take that board and I don't even know how I had the time. I'd cut out the lion's face and then spray it different colours, you know, so you have like a white one or whatever. Like So, but yeah, they must have sold a few. I don't know.
You mentioned about DC and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Did that come when you got on Reaction? Was it like a package thing, or who hit you up?
No, I think I was kind of... So I was on Duff's through New Deal to start with. I guess they started distributing DC, and then but when I was skating for New Deal, I would just skate like whatever. Like I wasn't arsed. Like I was just skating Adidas or whatever. And then I think when I came back, it was one of them things as well. It was like, hey, you're part of the family. Like you skate DCs. So they would pay, so I would get paid from DC as well as Reaction, and then I don't know what other companies I skated for, I can't remember now, but you know, you get some decent packages as well, like overall, like you get a lot of product and stuff as well, and then getting paid as well was cool too.
It's interesting at the time because, like I say, like the internet hadn't kicked in, so there was not all the price matching that goes on. So the shops who stock the stuff probably could sell quite a lot of it. Yeah. And also HSC was...
They used to fucking...
selling a lot of gear. It was
crazy.
I mean, we were selling a lot of gear at that time as well, so it was... Yeah.
Yeah, you were probably one of their biggest customers, right?
Yeah, I would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah, they had that first warehouse, which was pretty big, and then they moved to the mega warehouse.
Was that the one with the thumbprint IDs?
Yeah. So we went on Fenchurch tour once. I remember Kingy. It was me, Kingy, Mackie, and maybe the twins, the Smith twins. And I think they were loading up the van, and I'd been in like the warehouse, and I was like, fucking hell, look at that. I was like a kid in a toy shop, and I was like, Gunner's like, we'll hook you up or whatever. I remember putting these boxes in the van, and Kingy's like, what the fuck do you need all that shit for? We're only going away for 6 days. I was like, nah, I'm all good. And I remember he got us to kick some of me boxes that I'd packed out. He was like, fuck off.
Kingy probably had like a rucksack at best.
Yeah, exactly. Just like a rucksack, he's bored, just ready to fucking have a roll around, right?
Like, let's talk about bingo and filming for, because you did the Mischief Ignite video as well.
Yeah.
I think you had like you had a part in that as well.
Yes.
So when did you meet him and like start? Did you ever skate for his shop, or was it just like the?
Yeah, I mean, he would hook us up. I don't think I skate. Don't know if I must have, because obviously I was in the video, right?
Yeah.
From what I remember, but
he filmed a lot of that scene, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like, Bingo was fucking sick, man. He was such a good guy. Like, I don't know exactly when I met him. Maybe like when I was like 20-ish, 18 or something. But he would skate with like the Callows, and you know, they had their own kind of scene going on down there, like Middlesbrough, Stockton way. And then they would come up to Newcastle quite a bit, and then just kind of got to know him. Like, Bingo was just sound. Like, he was genuinely like, well, a genuine human being. Like, he had no agenda. He had no like. He just wanted to help people, and like he loved fucking skateboarding, and it was just like, and he was fucking good crack. You'd have a laugh with Bingo, like it was just easy. He was just one of them people where you could sit there and say fuck all, or you could sit there and chat shit, and you go film with him. And like I said, like that kickflip back nose blunt took us like fucking 2-3 days or whatever. He'd just stand there and he'd just be like, yeah, whatever. When other people would be like, what you doing? Can we just move on? Like, do you want to actually practice this trick before I try to film it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was, and obviously his shop was sick, the t-shirts they made and all that sort of stuff. And then, you know, so I would skate with him and those guys quite a lot, which was good. And then film shit with him, which was kind of, but I would always just be like, it was like me lazy Sunday. I'd just come out and do some shit. I was like, I'm not that bothered about what it is. Do you know what I mean? So, but it was good fun at the same time as well, which is what would end up in the videos, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I never got a chance to meet him. You met him, didn't you, Bingo? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, I was saying to you earlier, he's been dead like 15 years now. Insane how time flies, right? Like, you know, and like towards the end, I didn't talk to him as much because I was like working and stuff. And like, and I was like, I used to ring him from the car. I used to drive to London. And I used to ring him from the car, and then I don't know, I kind of stopped as much, and I was a bit gutted after he died. Like I was like, fuck, and I was absolutely fucking devastated. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like the first person that was like, you're like, whoa, how does that happen? Like, you know, it's crazy. Like,
yeah,
but that's life, I guess.
Yeah, he was a rat.
But he was great. He
did
supported
a
me
bunch
massively.
of good videos.
Yeah, his videos were amazing.
Northbound one, everything like that.
And the team was great team, and you know, they were like, they were all sort of tight, and you know, it was good to go skating with them. It was good fun.
Yeah.
But he was just, like I said, he hooked me up like so much. Like whenever I needed something, he'd be like, yeah, I'll come and film some shit for you if I needed something for something. Or anything I asked him, he'd be like, yeah. And I was saying to you, like, normal people would be like, yeah, give us a shout next week. Maybe. Got other shit going on. Bingo wasn't like that. He was just genuine as fuck. So.
Yeah, he was a rad dude. So how did Reaction come to an end?
It probably came to an end for me before it came to an end. Like, I think, you know, like the whole New Deal thing. And I think I'd kind of got to the point as well with skating where I was a bit like, what am I doing? Like, I was kind of treading water, really. It was just like, and then I was probably less involved. And like, you know, like I said, like, they just kind of started making those kind of professor boards and all that shit. I mean, that fucking graphic, man, like, what was it, like Professor Powers? And then like my mates who I went out with, had started being like, you all right, Professor Urwin? And I was like, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you react to that? I was like embarrassed. Do you know what I mean?
I bet they still sold a lot of those boards though.
I mean, they probably did. Do you know what I mean? And like, you know, there was like, I mean, the Reaction team, there was fucking some very good skateboarders like Finch, Rodney, you know, like some great fucking skateboarders. But I was just like, I can't, like, because I'd had the graphics, like, you know, like the Lion King and all of the graphics and stuff. I was like, it kind of doesn't fit in my head, that kind of progression. And I'd been involved in those graphics, like at the beginning, I think it was with Matt Fowler, and then, you know, Ben Allnut, we designed, and we used to fuck about designing graphics. Like, we designed a graphic of my face, and it was like a Templar we were going to make. And like, it was just fun. It was good crack. And then I think I just wasn't involved in it anymore, and I probably wasn't bothered. But then when shit like that came out, I was just like, fuck. Like, but that's life, right? It's not like whatever. So it probably sold skateboards.
You didn't keep one of those ones, no?
I do have one. I'll send it to you. You can burn it.
Send it with the 9th place Tampa AM.
All right, I'll do that.
And we'll put it on the back wall.
Yeah. I really want to speak to Gunnar because I'd love to know how many boards were being sold at that point. Like, where were Reaction boards made?
So at the beginning, so my first boards was all Schmidt sticks at the beginning, and then
because of the New Deal link, right?
Yeah, because of Douglas and Giant and stuff. And I think my first boards were all girl boards. So I'd just go in the warehouse, get a girl board, and be like, I like that shape. And so like the Lion King, all the Fruit Machine ones were all pretty much girl shapes. And then towards the end, like Professor Powers and all that shit, I think we started getting them made in China, I think. It was like the beginning of that because it was a bit cheaper. So those boards weren't exactly the same either, right? So I don't know. So I think it was Schmidt until it went to China, I think. I don't know for sure. And then I think I was like 25 or something. I think Gunnar just rang us up one day and he was like, hey, like, and I think I just bought a house or something. And he was like, hey, reaction's done, sort of thing. Like, we're closing it down. And I was a bit like, oh, okay. And then I was like, what for? And I think it was more like, you know, like the American companies and stuff. Like, I think board sales had kind of tailed off a little bit at that point. And it was like, right, what's the situation like with the British companies and stuff? I don't know for sure. I think that's kind of it. And then it was like, right, it's kind of done. And I was like, fuck. And I mean, to be fair, in hindsight, at that point, I probably should have just started my own thing and just gone, and it probably would have, you know, like I loved skateboarding. Do you know what I mean? Even if I had periods where I didn't skateboard, I always loved skateboarding and, you know, that whole kind of culture of it as well. So I was a bit like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what am I going to do here? Like, and they were like, oh, you can have element boards and shit. And I was like, I'm not going back to floor. Like, that doesn't really work for us. And then I think I was just kind of out from then on. I was just a bit like, okay, I'll get shit, sell it, and just work out ways of making money, like in other ways, you know? And it wasn't like, you know, I don't know, I was just, but to be fair, I was probably ready to do some other shit as well, because like, at the end of the day, like, you can't just keep doing the same shit. And, you know, I was talking about before, like, life as a pro skateboarder seems fucking glamorous, but if you sat around doing nothing, it's not that glamorous. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'd bought a house and stuff, and like, I was doing the house up, so like literally ripped it apart, and I was rebuilding the whole thing, and that's what I was spending. I mean, to be fair, I had a fucking mint life. So I would go and fuck off for like 3 months. So I'd go, like, my wife's one of her friends lived in like the south of France. So like, we'd go travel around Europe on trains and shit, and like, she lived next to Monaco. So we'd go and hang out down there for like a month or whatever. And then like Gunner'd ring us and be like, hey, where you at? And I'd be like, right, I'm down here. He'd be like, can you fly back? Because we need to do a Fenchurch catalogue. And I was like, yeah, cool. So I didn't have a bad gig when I think about it. Like, I literally did whatever the fuck I want. And I used to do that shit a lot, like just disappear and do stuff, you know? But in the end, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Do you know what I mean? I was like, a bit kind of like, am I going to continue doing the same shit? And the answer was no, really. So at that point, I think New Deal, they had a big push after Reaction to start the tours up again with all the Americans and stuff. So then they were like, hey, do you want to manage the tours? And I was like, okay. And they were like, well, you know everyone, so it should be pretty easy. I was like, okay. And I remember they gave us a laptop. I went down there and they gave us a laptop. And I was like, you know, like fucking 1 key at a time. I remember Gunnar sitting there laughing. Just like, look, this fucker trying to use a laptop. Because obviously like all I'd ever done was skateboard, right? That's all I was ever going to do. And so you'd get tours coming and I'd plan them from start to finish, which was actually good fun for a while, but also it was like hard work. And sometimes you get people come over, they'd be a pain in the arse. And like
who?
So ask Kingy about the Rasa Libre tour. I think he's probably thought about that one.
That's actually on here, leaving the Rasa Libre team somewhere up north because they were pissing you off.
Yeah, so who was there? There was...
Matt Pales?
Is that his name? Yes. No. Was he from San Francisco?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nate Jones?
Yeah.
Reese, obviously I knew Reese. There's 3 of them, maybe 4 of them. I don't know. Anyway, so there's me and Kingy, there's them. And I plan a tour, and I was like, right, we'll take them, they'll do London, and then we'll make our way up north. And I remember thinking for Reese, I was like, I've got loads of shit up north for him, he'll fucking smash it. Do you know what I mean? And we got on the tour, and then after we left London, it was just like, they didn't want to be out of London. I mean, I can't fucking blame them to some degree, right? And they were just like kind of complaining. Oh, Michael Leon was on the tour as well at the beginning in London, I think, the artist guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got up north, and I think we ended up in Newcastle or some shit. And then I didn't put them in Newcastle city centre because I was like, they will literally get the fucking shit kicked out of them. Like, I know they will.
Yeah.
Like, I remember years ago, like, here's one, Rennie Matheson. Not Rennie Matheson. Yeah, it was Rennie Matheson. in Cornwall in a chip shop. So in a chip shop, these two girls walk in. Rene turns around to these two girls. I don't know what he said to them, but he said something. Next thing I know, they've walked out the chip shop, and then the boyfriends come in, and there's just a massive fight starts. And then it was like Joycey and loads of people from Cornwall ended up in this chip shop fighting and shit. And I was like, they'll get beaten up in Newcastle. So I was like, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
So I put them in this hotel outside of Newcastle. And they were all pissed off about that. They were like, what the fuck? Like, want to go out? And I was like, you can go out, but I'm not taking care of you. And I mean, at that point, I lived there. So I was like, I'm fucking going home for the night as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, they got all pissed off and they were like, we want to go back to London. And me and Kingham were like, okay. We're like, come on then. So King will know better. I think we drove them to the train station. I was like, go on, fuck off, get the train back to London. And they were like, whoa. Like, oh, no, like, we'll just go back tomorrow. And I was like, okay, well, I want you up at fucking 7 o'clock and we're driving back to London. And then I got them in the van and we drove back to London and I just dropped them at some posh hotel and then they were like, cheers. They were sound, do you know what I mean? They just didn't want to do that way and that's fair enough. Like, you know, to some degree,
surely,
I don't blame them. Like,
pro skaters, they're being told where to go. There is an element of just you've got to go with the flow. They
weren't up for it, and I just don't know. I think they just wanted to be in London, skating in London, get some like kind of arty shots and shit, which is like whatever. They should have just said that in the first place, right? So anyway, they got out of the van. This is the best bit. They got out of the van. And I was like, see you later. There was no hard feelings or anything. I was like, whatever, man. Like, it's all good. Like, I'm not going to be pissed off. And then I was like, what do you want to do with them boards? There was like fucking stacks of board boxes. Probably like 3 stacks of board boxes, all out of board boxes, loads of clothes and shit. I'm like, what do you want to do with that shit? And they were like, and the wives were in the hotel, and that's where I learned, like, and the wives were at the hotel. And they were like, obviously, like, seeing the wives, and they were like, we're not going fucking skateboarding, we're going to hang out in London. And they were like, oh, whatever, just fucking keep it. I was like, man, see you later. And then fucked off, dropped the van off, and came back up north with all these boxes of shit and sold it all. So that kind of continued as well. Yeah, to Bingo, yeah.
Nice.
Actually, to Bingo, I do remember selling them those Rasa Libre boards. So that would happen a lot on tours. Like, you'd finish the tour and they'd be like, oh, just keep all this shit. So they kind of continued the selling stuff. And obviously, I still got skateboards and stuff as well, right? But there's some great tours as well. Like, we did one, I think it was like a Habitat one, which was like Silas, Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
And someone else. Can't remember who now. But that was good too. It was good fun. Like, they were all sound as fuck and we just went skating and stuff. And it was like really cool. Like, it was just good crack. Do you know what I mean? And then there was other tours, like the Zoo York tour with like Kenny and Donny Barley. Fucking what a skateboarder. One of my favourites, yeah. Was so fucking good. Where we went all over, ended up in like Sheffield. Kenny absolutely rinsed himself on that big handrail that goes with the bank down the side.
The one Grove volleyed over?
Yeah. So Kenny...
So he tried it?
Crooked Grind in it. Oh no, Smith. I think it was Smith or Crooked Grind, one or two. I think it was a Smith. And he ended, it was like no warm-up, I think. And then...
It weren't the rail on top of the bridge, was it? So you got the one that Grove volleyed, then there's the rail that's got the tram lines.
No, it was the one with the bank. Is that so? It's backside if you're regular.
No,
it's a different rail.
Yeah, it's a different rail because Grove ollied it. Grove's goofy and it's backside to him, isn't it? And he ollied it in the Sidewalk video.
It might be the same one. Maybe I remember it different, but it was fucking one hell of a rail, like massive. Don't think it was that much run up either, from what I remember. So he was like hitting it up. Did it a couple of times, like almost landed it, and then just one of these times just fucking stuck, like just straight in between his legs. I was like, fuck. And then he was like, I was like, I think it's time to take you to the hospital, like blood and shit. And I was like, okay.
What, out of his dick and
like
somewhere,
yeah. And then I was like, he was like, am I good? And I was like, I think you're good, but let's just go to the hospital to check. When I'm thinking, you like proper like split yourself here.
Yeah.
So got the hospital in Sheffield, and they saw him and they were like, you're going to have to stay in for, I think it was 2 weeks, they said, something like that. Because he needed to heal from the inside out or whatever, what he'd done, like ripped himself with it. And Kenny's just like that. Fuck that. There's no way I'm staying here for a week or 2 weeks in fucking Sheffield. And I was like, okay, so what do you want to do? And he was like, I'm just checking myself out. And then obviously the doctors and shit were like, you can't do that. Like, you shouldn't do that. So I was like, okay, cool. So he was like, will you drive us back to London? And there was like a travel lodge or whatever in London at Euston. Got him there, got him set up, and he just fucking hung out there for a few weeks, I think, and just kind of healed up. Yeah. But that was, apart from that, that was a great tour. Like, Donny Barley was just fucking killed it. Silas was sick. And then we did other tours, like, it was like toy machine tours, which were pretty good. Like, Templeton's amazing guy. Like, what else? There was the girl tours and all that shit. So we did that. By that point, we had the drivers and stuff. So we'd get a driver and you get like a big bus and shit. And then like, you know, you had like Mark Johnson, Rick Howard, Carroll. It's like Jeremy, what's his face? I can't remember his name now. Beeble, he was good crack. So it was all those guys. So it was good fun. And they were actually all sound as fuck. You'd expect them lot to be, if anyone was going to be a dick, it would be them lot. And they weren't. They were just sound as fuck. Just genuinely like decent human beings.
That's what Skin said about Costin. He said he was actually all right.
He wasn't on it. Costin wasn't on it. I think he was probably one of the only ones that wasn't on it.
Yeah.
Did some ropey ones as well. Like, you know, there was that one with, what was his name? I think I talked about this before. Leo Romero.
Yeah.
He was just a young kid, right? Like, just like, hey, I want to do this. Just really excited, want to do shit. And I was just like over it at that point. I was just like, can I just pull over and kick him into the fucking, you know, in the, like in the fucking wilderness somewhere and just fucking
I think you get
off.
To an age, don't you? Where
you just can't be arsed with it. Like, and that would have been me when I was a kid, you know what I mean? I would have been like, hey, I want to do this. I want to go skate. And I was just like, fucking have a day off. Can I just go and fucking do whatever? You know what I mean? So I kind of got, it wasn't really what I wanted to be doing. Do you know what I mean? So, and then.
So how did you transition out of that?
I think I was still kind of skating a bit. Well, I think I had another surge of skating when I was like maybe 28.
Toby, hang on a minute, mate. We need to talk about this episode's sponsor. Toby, take it away.
Today's sponsor is Slappy Trucks, straight out of the brain box of Mike Sinclair.
Slappy Trucks have a wide range from your classics, hollows, and lowest ever inverted kingpin, and the widest trucks on the market.
I've been rocking the ultra low inverted kingpin trucks for a while now, and they're super good. No braking time, no hang ups, and they grind super good.
Not only that, they have incredible colorways and collaborations with people like Bam Margera, my favourite, and one of the most popular selling trucks, the Curb Killer, Ira.
They've got an incredible team with a bunch of legends like Leo Romero, Ryan Sheckler, Lily Strachan, Braden Hoban, and Cordano Russell.
And you can check out the full range of Slappy trucks right now at rollersnakes.co.uk. Back to the show. So I say, where did the Nike Gladiator adverts come into it?
That was before, so Nike Gladiator.
Before we like round off that last
Nike
stint of
Gladiator
skateboarding.
was.
And what was it? How did you get it?
It was for the Olympics. So they did 3 adverts. One was with Lance Armstrong, one was a skateboard one, which was that. And then there was some lady who, I forget what that one was. It was maybe 2000 and, I want to say 3, because the Olympics would have been maybe 4, I don't know. So I heard that there was auditions and Nike were doing this advert. And the auditions were in London. There was loads of people there. And you had to like, it was just after, I think it was just after Gladiator came out. And the guy that played the Gladiator was in the film Gladiator. Wasn't one of the main guys, I don't think. Massive guy. He was fucking huge. So I went to audition. And there was loads of people there. And then they got back in touch and they said, hey, we need you to do like a show reel. I'm like, what the fuck's a show reel? You know what I mean? Like, what's that? And they were like, we need you to just talk in the camera, do this, do that, whatever. So I went to see Bingo. That was one of the things. It was like a random Bingo one. I was like, Bingo, I need to do this. They need it tomorrow. Can you help us? He's like, yeah. It was like 8 o'clock at night. He's like, come now. We lived in like wherever. And I left his house at like 1 a.m. Did that, sent it them. And then they were like, you've got the gig. And then I remember being in London. And then there was kind of like a bit of a backlash about it. Because it was like, at the time, Nike weren't in skateboarding. Like, I think they maybe hooked a few people up. And like in hindsight now, it's like fucking mental because like everyone was like, oh, Nike are trying to fucking like say some shit about skateboarding. And I'm like, as if they would do that. Like, you know, if you read Phil Knight's book, like he talks about running, how running was kind of like, he doesn't say about skateboarding, but like back in the day, like when people first started running, like in America, you get people shouting out the car, calling you a weirdo and shit for running, which is exactly the same as skateboarding, right? So everyone's like, oh, this is not the summit. Like, no, you shouldn't be doing it. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it was decent money. Like,
How much?
Yeah, go on.
It was like decent. I mean,
how much?
It might have been like I don't know exactly, but maybe like $7,000 a day or something.
How many days?
Maybe 2-3 days, maybe.
Easy.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe less.
Leave with a couple of night
Maybe
shoes.
Baines, you'll know. Maybe it wasn't that much. Maybe it was like, maybe 10 grand in total. I don't know.
Did Baines do it too?
Yeah. So I went to London and then they were like, I remember saying to them, like, I'm not sure about this because everyone's kicking off. Like the skate community kicked off. I don't know how you'd know that the skate community was kicking off in those days because there was no like, might have been facts. So
Steve Douglas faction. What are you doing?
Fucking
I'm on a flight now.
No,
I'm
that's
faxing
when
you from the flight.
That's when the Sidewalk forum was about.
Maybe it was on there.
That was like that was like the Instagram of the time.
Read that forum now. Jesus.
You probably could if you went back. Maybe.
I bet it was
everything lasts forever, right?
Way back.
I'm assuming.
You reckon it was on MSN?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
So a bit of backlash. You were saying to me.
So I got a load of shit, and then I went and met with the guys from Nike, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure about doing this." And it was like a day before they were meant to shoot, and the director was this guy called Tarsem, who, remember that film with Jennifer Lopez, The Cell?
Yeah.
He directed that, right? And he did loads of like advertisement stuff. Apparently he's quite well renowned in advertisement. And they were like, it's on, we're filming it, we're all set up to go. You're either doing it or you're not. And I was like, well, you need to give us some reassurance because like I'm being told that like this is, and I remember they turned around and went, it's meant to be tongue in cheek. And I remember sitting there going, what the fuck does that mean? Do you know what I mean? And then after speaking to them, I was like, okay. And it was obvious they weren't going to try and rinse skateboarders. Why would they want to do that? Like, it's ridiculous when you think about it. And after I met them, I was like, okay, cool, we're on. And they were like, right, okay, cool. You've got to go to Pinewood Studios or somewhere in Surrey or wherever the fuck it is.
North Hertfordshire. And
I was like, mint. And they were like, you're going to work with, what was the guy's name? Oh, he was the guy that did all the Indiana Jones films and shit, like all the stunt stuff with Harrison Ford. Oh, I don't know. Oh, what's his name? His name will come to us. Anyway, he was like an older guy and he choreographed all that stuff. So he's like, right, you've got to go there and you need a stunt double.
Well, and you had to find a stunt double?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. The day before?
Nah, my memory's it was probably like a week or whatever. So you need a stunt double, and I was like, right, okay, who do I want to do this with? And I was like, fucking Bainesy. It's got to be Bainesy. Like,
100%.
He's good crack. And at that time, like towards the end of Reaction as well, like I was going to stay with Bainesy quite a bit as well. And like when I filmed the Sidewalk video, that's another point where I got back into skating, like being in Leeds. Like Leeds was like amazing for skating, like all like little short steps and like, you know, like stuff that was hard to skate. I kind of got back into it and then I'd go and stay with Baines. So I was like, I'm having Bainesy as my stunt double. And I remember thinking, he's fucking not going to be able to do it though, is he? Because he's fucking goofy and I'm regular. And I was like, but they didn't know that. I was like, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. I was like, I'm not going to hurt myself. I mean, if I had hurt myself, I would be fucked. Actually, to be fair, Bainesy was pretty fucking... I mean, he was amazing switch stance and normal, right? So it wouldn't have mattered really.
Both foot.
So we did all the prep stuff with this guy. Like, what's his fucking name, man? Vic Armstrong, there you go. Yeah, so he was like, so I was in awe of him because I was like, this guy's like, made some fucking sick films, right? So me and Bainesy went and did 2-3 days with him and then it started shooting, but it was all like full production, like mental, like, you know, with like all the fucking cafe and all that shit. And it was all down at South Bank. So it was like, and then this guy, I'm forgetting his name now. I think his name was Terry. Massive guy dressed as a gladiator. And they're like, this is your gladiator. Like, I had to practice with him because it was like shit way, like try and get us off my board and all that. And like ollie on the bonnet of the car and stuff. The car was all reinforced. It was good fun because it was like shit you would never get to do. Do you know what I mean? And then they were like, right, now we're going to do the bit with a horse. So there was them.
Bend over.
There was those pillars at South Bank that ran down from South Bank all the way to the big gap, which was, I think, was my reaction first advert.
Yeah.
So it ran all the way down there, and there was those pillars all the way down. But they were like, you have to time it. So Vic was like, see, I remember his name now. You have to time it where you can get in before the horse kicks you in the face. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if that thing had fucking caught me, like, that was game over, right? So I'd be like hacking it down, trying to get the speed right. And there's a guy on a fucking horse with a sword coming towards us full belt. And then I'd just duck in at the last minute. It was fucking like mental, like the adrenaline, but it was great fun. And me and Baines had a mint laugh. It was really good.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, it was good crack. And then we did another one.
It's got to be online somewhere.
It is.
We find
sure
it
it's
now.
on YouTube
I'll just search
somewhere.
Nike Gladiator ad. And then you did another one.
And that was the same. So they got in touch and they said, the guys from Nike want you to be in the next one. Because at that point, they didn't have a team, right? And I think I skated for DC as well. And I was like, fucking right, like, whatever. And the guys from New Deal were sound about it as well. And then...
and did they get Baines involved in the second one?
Yeah, so he'd obviously done that one. And we're like, who else can do it? And we're like, Colin. Of course, it's got to be Colin Kennedy.
What did Baines do in that first one? You said he did
Nothing. He wasn't in it because he was stunt
You still
double.
got paid?
Yeah, of course he got paid.
Yeah, he got paid
so
just
with
for showing
them,
up.
you could either get paid an amount
Yeah.
or you could get paid for every time it showed.
Right. What did you go for?
Fucking amount is
Yeah.
guaranteed, isn't it? You know what I mean? So did Bainesy as well, I think. You'll never know because he'll never come on.
I know, he's...
That's dangling the carrot, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, now.
Come on, Baines.
So the next one was in Italy. We got to go to, I think it was Rome. They did like a football one, a basketball one maybe, and then the skateboard one. And it was me, Baines, Colin, Ali Keynes was there when we got there.
Big up Ali. Love Ali.
Yeah, Ali's fucking mint.
When I saw him at the event, I just want to hug him all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, hi, guys.
Yeah, he's mint. And then Shani, whatever his name was.
Shani Jaraganam.
Yeah. And then Wee Man from...
Jekka.
Jason Acuna.
He was fucking so much fun.
Is it?
I got on with him so well. We had such a fucking laugh. And then we filmed there for like 3 days. And I think one of the DJs, like the guy that DJ'd from The Roots, was like there doing the beats and stuff. And it was just in this like warehouse. And I think it was in Rome. So we just got to spend like 5 days there, like just filming this stuff and going out on a night and stuff. It was good crack. And it was good. It was a good group of people as well.
Good
but
money.
obviously they flew people in from the US as well.
Good
money.
as well.
I think it was good. I think at that point I was considering taking the how many times it was played, but I didn't. I still took the money. It was good fun. All that shit.
Good
Skateboarding
experience
is
stuff,
fucking
innit?
amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like I skateboarded for such a short amount of time, but it's defined me whole fucking life, and everything it taught us in my life is like so amazing. Like I don't think people get to experience that if they haven't been a skateboarder. I don't think it's like we were talking about earlier. I don't think there's many sports that it's not a fucking sport really. There's many things you can do that give you that. It's like the mindset. It's like that. For me, building relationships, it taught us that like reasonably easy, which didn't come that natural to us. Like not giving up, like consistently just going right. You know, you try a trick. You just keep trying it and trying it. Like, that's the same with other shit that you do as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, it's the strangest thing. The opportunities and the way it makes you think and, you know, kind of approach life is just phenomenal. You know, and it's still today, like, I'm still a skateboarder. Like, I'll always be a skateboarder. Like, I walk down the street and I see someone, I'm like, I'd fucking love to have a bash at that. And then every now and again, I'll have, like, a dream about skateboarding and I'm like, that's enough.
Yeah, it's
Do you
in
know
your
what I
blood,
mean?
isn't it?
Yeah,
I
it
think-
just doesn't ever go away.
I think with skating as well and being around so many, like, such a diverse group of people.
Yeah.
It gives you the confidence to walk up to anyone.
Yeah.
And talk and ask anything. I think it's put me in a position where, like, you'll see like your favourite skater, or say if you saw someone from a film or a musician, you just know how to be human level and not be too kind of like, not pedestal people too much. And just approach them and just be like, Sam, mate,
without a doubt, why would you be like that? But like you said about skateboarding, like, you would never get that in tennis. You wouldn't be fucking stood next to Nadal, would you? Like, you know, if you were a kid, but you can be right next to those people who influence you. Do you know what I mean? It's funny, I was at the airport the other week. Well, actually, it was probably last year now. And I'd checked in to flight LA, gone to get me flight, and it said delayed on the thing. So I had to go from Newcastle to London. So there was 2 flights. And then I hadn't realised, I checked my bags in. I hadn't realised that my flight wasn't delayed. I'd just seen it first because it was delayed. So anyway, I ended up missing my flight, getting rebooked to get back on. And they were like, you've got a really short window at Heathrow. You've got to run to the plane. Like, your bags will come after, but you've got to run to the plane. So I fucking ran. I was sweating, like literally drenched. Got the lift. There's these big guys like wearing like black coats. Getting the lift. These big guys in black coats. And then there's this guy stood there and another guy. And I was like panting. And this guy's gone in like a Scottish accent. He's gone, are you all right there, mate? You're going to have a heart attack or something? And I looked up and it was Gerard Butler. And then by the time we got to the flight, it was like literally like taking the piss out of him. Like, where are you from again in Scotland? Like, you know, like just because you don't like have that way, like, whoa, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just... Like, people are people, right? It doesn't really matter.
Makes you kind of filterless in a way. Like, you know how to handle those situations.
They probably appreciate that as well, to a certain extent.
To be fair, he was fucking good crack as well. He was good. Like, he was having a bit of banter and he was sound as fuck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like a dig from, like, he was a big bloke.
We kind of started wrapping up skateboarding and stuff, and then I guess it's what you'd been doing after that. So obviously you're at Tom's Footwear.
After the tour shit, Gunnar and those guys went to DC to work for DC once New Deal kind of lost it. Yeah. And then I was like, I think I was still getting paid from DC at that point. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, I had a lot of phases of where it was like skateboarding, no skateboarding, skateboarding. I was like, I need to do something else. So I said to them, like, have you got any jobs at DC?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'll do fucking marketing or something, you know what I mean?
Like, so I read that you went from like into like a role there as well, like working for them.
The guy that ran Europe at that point, Frank Messman, he was like, I think Gunnar, and there was Dan Evans, who was like a sales manager or whatever. They were like, we'll give you a job, but we can't pay you for skateboarding anymore. That's where it's all a bit muddled. Everything's a bit muddled in timing wise. Anyway, they were like, so we're not going to pay you for skating. We'll pay you to do a job. And the job we've got is sales in the north in Scotland. I was like, fuck.
So you had to be out on the road.
Yeah. But then on the same hand, I was like, giving myself that structure of like, you know, actually focused on doing shit was actually quite good for us. Because like I said before, like spending too much time by yourself and is not fucking great for anyone, really. You've got to have a
doesn't
focus.
Work for a lot of people.
No, and within skateboarding, it didn't work for us all those years. And I think I came to the realization that this is not going to last forever. I don't want to do this forever. And also, there's other shit to life. Like, you don't have to do the same job for all your life. Like, you can switch. Those days are gone where someone trains to be a fucking doctor and is a doctor for the rest of their life. Like, that's not the kind of shit that I teach my kids, you know what I mean? I'm like, you can go and do something. If you change your mind 5 years later, then it's all good. Like, that's what makes life interesting, right? So I accepted the job thinking, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just start skateboarding again. And then I loved it. It was fucking easy, right? Like, imagine, like, I was going into skate shops like, hey, do you want to buy some DCs? Like, you know, at that point, DC was fucking flying. Got to go all over. Like, they would do like sales conferences and shit, and like, you know, like Biarritz or like, you know, like a snowboard resort, a ski resort. Yeah. So you go snowboarding, and I was selling the snowboard stuff and the skate shoes and shit. And so it was good fun. And then kind of did that for maybe a year or two. And then Gunnar, always followed Gunnar, I guess. He went and worked for Max, who's got Gumball, the rally guys.
Maximilian Cooper.
Yeah, Max is a great guy.
Yeah.
bang into skateboarding, BMX and all that. Like,
I'd love to meet him.
You should get him on. He's probably got a great knowledge of
British, isn't he?
Yeah. They're based in London.
You got his number?
Yeah, I'm sure I can message him.
Yeah. Have you seen any?
He might not
stuff?
respond. He'd be like,
"Have you seen any of his stuff? The Maximilian Cooper films? I remember he did It was the Gumball. It was called like the Gumball 3000, and it had like Joyce, Ryan, Dunn,
yeah,
Hawk,
that's all that.
Mike
Yeah,
V.
yeah.
Main selling point for me was Bam.
That used to be on the Extreme
It was
Sports
fucking.
channel.
I've still got. I'm gonna watch that. Like, I've got it on DVD.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking great.
So they started a clothing brand. So there was me and 3 other guys from DC were all left at the same time with Gunner and started this brand. And then it was like selling into skate shops to start with. And then like, you know, like obviously like people like Demon Tweaks and stuff, you know, like car places and stuff bought it and stuff. And that kind of lasted, like by the end of it, I was doing like kind of brand manager sort of things. Gunner and stuff had left, like everyone had kind of left and I was doing it, which was quite good. And then it's just a bit like, need to do something else, like, you know, so I went and worked for Ted Baker, which was a bit of a random one, like selling like fucking pointy brown shoes. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why have I done this? Like, but I kind of got experience from it, I guess, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. I worked like 5 years, and it was not corporate, but it felt a bit like that, and it wasn't like skateboarding's quite not relaxed, but like it's like that culture. Like I missed that, and I was like, you know, being yourself. Like there's a lot of places where you can't fully. Well, I felt like I couldn't fully be myself because like it just wouldn't work. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like, well, hold on. Be like, hey, network with these guys, network with these, go and talk to such and such from this brand. And I'd be like, fuck that, can I not just do my job and go home? You know what I mean?
I've only ever worked one job where I had to wear like somewhat of a suit, like a shirt.
Well, I didn't have to wear a suit,
trousers
like,
and
to be fair.
Shoes, it's like...
And it's rattlesnakes.
No hat. Couldn't wear no hat. I was like, it was.
Have you got hair under that hat?
Yeah, it's
Is it like bald?
Yeah,
is it like
it's
it's just that rim? I think there's a lot to be said about being true to yourself as well. Like being able to look yourself in the mirror and go like, this is me. And I know what people have to do that shit. Like I get it. Like in that normal world, and that's the thing about skateboarding. Like you don't think like that in the normal world. You would put a shirt and pair of pants on and be like, that's what I have to do to conform. And I'm like, that is the last thing I'm going to do because that's what's expected of us. So I went and worked for there, and then I didn't have to wear the pointy shoes. They made just like boat shoes and shit as well. So I'd wear boat shoes, wear a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, pretty much. And it was like I learned shit, but I was just like, it's not really me. Like I can't be me. And then I got headhunted by Tom's. So Tom's was like massive in the UK. Like if you went out in a weekend in like 2008 or 9,
everywhere,
everybody would wear them.
Bands were wearing them.
Ridiculous.
Hippies were wearing them.
Yeah, you'd have like people like Liam Gallagher talking about them, like having like 12 pairs and shit, and it was like crazy. And then they got in touch with me because they had an agent in the UK, and it was obviously based from the US, and they were setting up like a European business, and they wanted me to manage the UK part of the business. So I was headhunted to do that, and then I was like, okay. And then I met them, and I was like, this feels like skateboarding. Like they did like a collaboration with like Element, and like, you know, and like the guy that owned it, it felt like a little bit more like skateboarding.
Yeah.
And then I met them, and I was like, this is the in between. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just kind of progressed within that, and then now I'm like a general manager for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So I run the show and work from Amsterdam. Like I'm there, you know, every week or whatever. But it's good. It's like it's like skateboarding, but it's, you know, it's business at the same time, and you know, we'll have fun, but we'll get the job done at the same time, and nobody takes themselves too serious, and everybody can be completely themselves, which is what very skateboarding important. Taught us.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at footwear now, especially in skating, so say like Asics, Skechers have been fucking coming out with shoe, Puma. Maybe it's time to start generating a skateable shoe and build a team. Then you're back in skating. This is your sixth since.
See, I always wanted to start New Deal, like again, you know how everyone used to call it a Death Star. I always wanted to start Death. I was like, one day when I kind of went into more business shit, I was like, one day I'm going to come back and start Death Star distribution. Do you know what I mean? And like follow on from where New Deal.
What brands would you have in Death Star distribution?
Well, see,
Reaction.
Nah, I would have.
Run those Professor
I'd have
boards
Girl.
again. Yeah, I knew you were going to say Girl.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Zoo York. Habitat. Workshop.
Can I just tell you there's only 2 brands you've listed there that actually sell?
Oh, really? That's a shame.
So it wouldn't last long.
No, they would sell after a while. Would make sure of it. Would have big marketing budget.
Yeah, you'd fucking need it with them brands. Yeah.
Is that how it rolls nowadays? Back in the day, the amount of fucking product that used to sell, New Deal used to ship, was like insane. I just always thought it was funny how people used to always think that New Deal was like the devil.
Yeah, I guess because they had, I think probably there was a lot of people jealous they weren't involved with it, maybe.
I mean, those guys, you know, help people out, sort people out across the board. Like anyone that came to them, like, hey, we get some boards or whatever, they'd hook them up. Like genuinely, like, you know, did a lot for skateboarding as well.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
That's what skateboarding used to be like as well, though. Like back in the day, skateboarding used to be very like, people were always pissed off with something or somebody.
They've always got to have somebody to moan.
And I'm like, what's the deal? Like, can everyone not just fucking crack on? Yeah. Like, why does there have to be like, I mean, it's fair enough having healthy competition, but just talking shit is just fucking...
Yeah. I think maybe like with New Deal, there was probably a little bit of bitterness that Harrow Skate Centre, HSC, was, you know, sort of seen as the whole thing. And so distro selling direct, maybe getting in the way of other shops. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think at that point, it completely separated, hadn't it? Like HSC had...
Yeah, I mean, HSC was always part of New Deal, right? But... Yeah. Obviously, why wouldn't you do that? You just would, right? The margins are there. I mean, all brands do that nowadays. Like, you know, they sell
I mean, it's the same
direct, right? That's the beginning of it anyway. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
But I guess
you've still got the overheads and the costs, so it's not like you're making that much more.
And also, like you're saying, if those companies, brands, whatever, are putting money back into paying skateboarders, like you were getting paid and all that, the perks.
Yeah.
You know, who gives a fuck?
So you were saying you're now the manager for Europe, Asia,
and Middle East.
Going more into that role and how long you've been there and traveling back and forth to the States.
Yeah, I've been there for like maybe 13, 14 years.
So then that's longer than what your professional skateboarding.
Yeah. Crazy, but time just fucking flies, doesn't it? Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my job is managing the business pretty much, and you know, the teams and stuff. And like I said, it's good fun. Like the culture there is very much relaxed to some degree, but obviously you have to deliver at the same time, right?
Of course,
like, you know, but we'll have fun, and you know, it's kind of, it feels more like skateboarding, of like that culture, you know, where nobody's trying to step on each other or any of that kind of shit. Like that's not. And then I get to travel a lot, so like obviously I'm in Amsterdam all the time because that's where the office is. We've got an office in London, and then I go to LA maybe 2-3 times a year, which is quite good, you know, kind of meeting with everyone out there for like product meetings and all that sort of stuff. But it's great to go there as well. Like I always stay next to like Venice Beach and stuff, and like, you know, like sometimes I take me board and just have a little push up there, you know, like the little Natters curbs and all that shit, and then, you know, the girl gaps and the you know, like ollie them or whatever, just fuck about. Like it's good crack. And then like you know, you've got the Natters fire hydrant where he ollies on and spins around and pops off and that. And so you just walk around and see it's where skateboarding started, right? Like, so it's kind of nice to be able to go there because it's like, it feels, you know, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I do. And
has there been any talk in your time at Tom's about doing a skateboard shoe?
No, never ever.
Are they aware of your skateboarding history?
Yeah. Well, I assume so.
Yeah.
I don't generally talk about it that much. Like, be like, here's Neil fucking talking about when he was young again.
Switch train the road gap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you know, say what I used to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
mate. You showing us last time.
Couldn't give a shit as long as you pay me wages.
Yeah.
That was good.
On that note, I think that's probably a good one to wrap it up on. I'm stoked that we finally got to make the episode happen, and thank you for driving down and
all good.
Coming on.
Thanks for having us. I hope people enjoy it, and if they don't, then just fucking turn it off.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, whatever.
Let's. You say you got your board in your car, so you might as well tickle a little roll around.
I'll try an ollie.
The hydrant.
If I rip me groin, that's what I was thinking. I could try an ollie. But hold on. So it's been a year, and my groin like just got better. So we can try.
Forde will give it a massage.
I'll massage you down. We've got oil for a reason.
I'll look. In fact, I'll not look forward to that. That's just fucking weird.
Well, let's get a round of applause for Neil Urwin.
Good to see you.
Let's go restart reaction.